Under the glow of a grow room light, eagles perch ready to take flight. From Michigan to the hills out west, we nerds gather sharing their best. Roots run deep like stories told, through the chat and the laughter, hearts unfold. Welcome to WEedNerdWorld, come on in, where the panels all live and the tales begin. Tips and tricks, mistakes we've made, a grower's bond that'll never fade. WEedNerdWorld, where the green heart spins. Breeders and dreamers, farmers and friends.
Special to the Ed A Nova, Justin's Meds. A Nova, if I missed you, Mrs. Justin's Meds. Thunder Dane. Cheers, guys. Hopefully you're doing well this Tuesday evening. Decided to watch Oak Island a little bit later. Do my gardening in Oak Island a little bit later. What's up, Doc? Mr. Bud? Buddy Kilowatts. Cheers to you. How you doing? What the fuck are you smoking on? What's up, Ty? Appreciate you, sir. Good. Oh, this is tea. Yeah, I guess. What the fuck is this? It's like sawdust. I bet you this fucker went through the fucking the washer, I bet. What's up, Midwest Outlaws? 3194, I guess now. Smokey the Bastard. Cheers to you. What in the flying fuck is going on here? I'm really like, should I drink this right now? Looks like fucking tobacco and shit. Cap Junkie Dabs. Ugh. Dispo Blammer. Right on. Alright, let's see if I can find out some tunes. I'm still thinking this shit's suspect, man. Been in the backpack for a minute. In the work backpack. Cab Junkie. Always good, right? Yeah, this is as close as I try to get to energy drinks, really, right here. Is the Turing packs. That one looks sus, though. Super sus. I don't know. If I happen to go down to extreme, it was the energy pack. It was the energy pack. Oh, let's see here what we got to fucking listen to. What the fuck? What the fuck? I've been rocking some Teddy Swims. I'll start to put this right here. Good tune. Cheers, Teddy. Don't hit me with the copyrights. Alright, Dark Desire. What's up, Cass? How you doing? Alright, I need to roll one up. This is Game Warden times NL. What's up, Marina Family Farms? Is this the one I want? No, that's not the one. That's the Golden Goat. Good. No, it's the end of the jar here. Might as well just dump her out. Kill it. No! They put so much preservatives and stuff nowadays. Right on. What's up, Ned? J5420. I lined up another one, man. I'm fucking inching my way to that fucking 888. You better be ready, motherfucker. It's coming fast, so I hope you are ready. What's up, Operation Annihilation? Cheers. Even the doctor is trying to step into the house these days. What's up, Doc? Dave's not here. Cheers to you. This is Weed Nerd World for those of you who've done your time and want to fucking hang out. The door is open for you. The rest of you guys kind of know the deal. You got to do your episode. I could use the guests. You could use the key. Oh, seems fair. I'll hold you the door. Let's start a pit. Not to this too. You want some heavier music? I'll fire it up. And I showed you the door. We'll play some heavier stuff. What's up, Rafter? I should have made some coffee before I popped on myself too. But I did not. Went with the energy drink instead, which is still sauce. I don't know about this yet. Let's see here. Oh yeah, right there. I've got your fucking heavier music for you. Right here. Fucking clutch. I gotta get a paper towel. I gotta wipe my nose. I'll be right back. Enjoy.
The fog is rolling in, the tide is high. The hands as flat can be, like Captain Knight. But guessing more than pleased. How is the wine?
Alright.
We shall be on the way on the by.
Topped my babies yesterday. What's up, Phil? Topped the babies yesterday for the most part. The heady OG is ready, in my opinion, to be up potted into the 3-gal. Keep everything rolling. Gonna be ready for flowers soon. Gotta get that tents ready, wiped down and ready. Think I'm just gonna do a quick flip with the heady. I believe we're gonna die. Me, oh my. It's very fruity. I wouldn't have expected that, really. But I enjoy it, man. I killed this jar. The gold jar's been sitting there a little bit longer, I must admit. And this North NL Game Warden NL killed this jar much faster. Nice. I need to. I got the heady popped, and I was thinking about. I got the Gringo Loco. Nilla BX. It's a tough call, but man, I love the OG, so I had to go with the OG. I gotta get these ones wet next. The face off times the moon bowl. You were the one that sent me these. Thank you, and please give me a fuck yeah, that was my shit. I greatly appreciate that. We growing doobies. What is up? Guess we'll smoke this doobie if we don't get no volunteers to pop by. I'll go back to the garden work. Garden work and whatever. Yeah, I haven't decided what was going outdoors yet this year. Although that time to be popping those seeds is coming very quickly. Very, very quickly. What's Ned saying? I did find some of the DOA both ways. The side that I bred out and the side that my man Smiley bred out. If you guys are interested in those still. Not a lot, but maybe 20, 30 packs of those left. What motherfucker? Oh. What's up, dog pounds? Nice, I got that going myself right now. 9 of them anyway. Hell yeah, it's awesome to hear. Awesome to hear. I was just getting ready to, I found the bag of the F2s of the Columbium. What's up, Mr. Anderson? We need to hang out and smoke again sometime soon. Very soon. But I want to get work towards that the 6-shooter from Tight and the Columbium, which I believe I called that one Wildflower. I don't know if I'm sticking with that name, but that's when seeds were gathered. That was the name that was going on that one. The Chili Bean times the Columbium is I'm calling that the Chillbilly. If you want to put a tag on that, that's what that's the official name, Chillbilly. What's up, Brad Kendricks, DGC, Weed Nerd, Stoner Dude. Hello, how you doing? Packing this with a little bit of runts. Oh no, this is shot collar. Pretty nice looking stuff there. Cheers, dude crew. Alright, if somebody hasn't popped in by the time I finish this doobie, I'm getting back to work, so cheers. Do have hopefully, I'm pretty sure there's an episode of Fucking Talking Shit with Eagle this week. I'm not gonna tell you who just yet. Keep your eyes open for that announcement though, I guess. How many Clutch fans do we have in chat there? What's up, Penny Pebble Ripples? Yeah, the dialer is taking a dive. Silver's fucking killing it right now. What's up, Rafter coming in? Have you heard from Fuzz? Fazoli? No, I have not. What's up, Weed Nerd Crack Babies? We got a couple Weed Nerds in chat.
Oh, good to see you, Eagle. How's it going?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing good, much better. I actually found this like couple years old, like hemp-based, like oil, like topical oil, and I gave it to my family member that I'm been take caretaking. It was like night and day the next day. They were clearly having conversations, with me and the person that's also here, like a family member. And yeah, what a huge difference. I really want to start making my own of like I'll have to look for a specifically CBD based one, like base plant, so I can start off knowing it's already super low dose THC. But yeah, I'm not against uh having like a 1-to-1 or something. I just need to do I've had the opportunity to get something like that in the past, but I was like, oh, it's I'd rather that go to someone who needs it. And now I'm like, okay, now I know I don't need it. I need it to help someone. So yeah, I'm super stoked about that. Like lots of good news there. I haven't really told my family too much about it, just the people that are like living with me. Just like, hey, like they made comments like they like she seems very like much more lucid, like much more able to be able to understand what's going on. There's still like some confusion. They see and hear things, but that was the underlying condition. So it's kind of nice. I've kind of toned back the medications as well, just to see, just like, hey, what's with this and what's this without this. And wow, like yeah, I looked at all of the medications and what they do, and I was like, most of this stuff is just treating like the like agitation, nervousness, confusion, um, like all of that can be done with just a little bit of cannabis, whether it's only CBD or 1-to-1 or whatever the ratio. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that, just because I know I can help them with just what I already been doing for helping myself for 9 years. You know,
So I just want to like chime in a little bit here on the
sure.
CBD versus like the 1-to-1 or the two to one.
Yeah,
Now, see, the CBD is awesome. I'm not trying to push the THC in any kind of way, but the one thing people don't realize with the CBD is it's a quick in and out. So
okay.
basically, you need a steady supply, and a constant with this just 100% CBD. With a 1-to-1, see, the THC helps keep is more of a binder and helps keep it into
Mm,
the system. Even though
okay.
it's, with a lower dose, they won't feel the high to it, but it will keep the CBD in the system for a larger amount of time. So that's where at least a 2-to-1 or a 1-to-1, just the something THC in there will help, and it will lessen the amount of CBD that they'll have to take. You know what I mean? So there is some
Good.
benefits there. You know.
Yeah, yeah. My main, the reason I didn't do this 7 months ago is my main concern was just pissing hot, because they were checking in on her, and then basically if they see that if they piss hot, and then the doctors see that, and they see that I'm the caretaker, I want to continue caretaking. So I've been very like, like what do I do? I know I can help, but if I do this, I can possibly never help them again. So it's that whenever I heard a parent have to deal with that, I was like, oh my gosh, like that's awful. But you got to. Luckily, I live in a state where you're an adult. You're an adult. Not only that, if you have medical condition and you're signed up for it, you have way more rights. So I might even look into that, like sign them up, and then that way it's just like, hey, they have a pre-existing condition, and it shows that this would help with like confusion and a lot of, and just mainly it's the agitation. you can't really take away the confusion, but the agitation from, being confused all the time is the main thing. So I'll definitely look into more like one-to-ones. The reason I want to start with a low dose plant is because I don't have any way of testing at the moment, other than maybe like ordering some at-home tests and then you send that stuff out to a lab. But yeah, that's lots of good news on that end. So I'm pretty happy. It's been up and down for the last little bit, but I'll take whatever positives you can get me. Yeah.
Yeah, it fucking sucks when you have to work around the state or the medical system, like you're saying there. It's kind of bullshit, really. You know what I mean? As far as a caregiver, it ties your hands to what you feel is best for it is ultimately your patient as well and family member. So you've got, your your investment in this is twofold. You know what I mean? So it kind of sucks that the hands can be tied. I went through that kind of same episode there when I had to be in a similar situation with my ex sister-in-law there. I don't know, I
Mm.
hate saying ex because when somebody's been a part of your your circle for so
You can
long.
still say family. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
still
right.
family.
You know what I
Just
mean? How do you discount
I
like all
I
those
I do it
years?
all the time. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but there was a time where we treated her with cannabis. I mean, from the time up until she had like a really bad episode that
Mm.
kind of it was bad, and
Yeah.
we had to call. She wanted the help. We needed the help, and at that point, that's when the medical system, the state, kind of they didn't. Once you get that there, there's oversights. We'll say, like you're saying, and
Yeah.
it went from her being able to be on cannabis 100% to now, like you're saying, okay, what the fuck do? We got to play their game now. And we come from a long line of like not wanting the pharmaceuticals in the house. And fucking, so now we had to play the game, and she wasn't happy. We weren't happy. I mean, when she came back from that and on the pharmaceuticals, beforehand with cannabis, she was great, lively. She'd have her quirky moments. She'd talk to the TV while we were watching it and shit. And there was times where she would make more sense than anybody in the fucking room.
That's just it. There's those moments of clarity where you're like, whoa, like I get chills. Like I stop everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, give her a hug. Just like, thank you. You're giving me something to like work it towards again. Yeah.
Right
But yeah,
on.
definitely. Oh
Sorry.
yeah, I see. Doctor, thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely hit you up, man. I I've had some other people tell me that there's some CBD around, like going around in the community. Before, if even if it was just me, I would have like looked for something to buy, just on my own and all that. But now when it's like all hands on deck, I'm like, no, there's no. Uh, I'm not proud. No, I'm not too proud to ask for help with this one. Before it was like, I can, like I've been taking care of myself for 9 years growing. So I would never really ask someone else to help me out unless I was like, I can't walk, I can't take care of my garden, I can't even get up, something to that extent. Then I would be like, hey, let's work out a trade, maybe my knowledge for something you got, whatever the case is. But definitely happy to know that there's people in the community that pay it forward.
There's a lot of caring people in the community, that's for sure. They're very willing to help, that's for sure.
Got some more mascarpone. And actually, you know what? This one. Yep, yep. ZK cheese crust.
Nice. That's good
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
right there.
You know, I've been appreciating it. I wasn't able to save the cut of this one, but I do have like I have at least one more pack of the the 13 pack of this. I made sure to. And yeah, I really need to start thinking about like making a calendar for myself on what to pop and like having a general like hey like not like oh you need to do this by February, you know, but like hey look at the calendar and start breaking it down. Uh okay, I got 1 month to 6 weeks of veg. I got 2 months, 2.5 months to flour. Where am I gonna be? Because I've been a lot of last year, I was just letting it go to do whatever, just because I was like, I was fortunate enough to even put plants, to even be taking care of plants and putting them in rotation. So I was just like, okay, whatever, you know, like, for that's why I've had garlic icing in rotation for basically a year. That's so out of whack for me. I really
Like
want
to
to
mix
get
it
more.
up a little bit more than that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm fine, you know, with having something for a while, but it's just always nice to have more flavor. And because I haven't had two tenths for more than like 2 or 3 years, and uh, it's so nice to have those extra three to four harvests in your back pocket. Just because I would be lucky if I got like at minimum three when I just had my 110 because I was just run them out. At that time, I had the 65-gallon pot in a 3x3. Yeah, I know. It's it was a beast. And I definitely got some good runs out of that. I wish I might be doing that again. But first I'm gonna be I would need to add a third tent into rotation, which is what I'm looking into. And I haven't put it up yet because I actually want to put like set up a basically like a dolly part for the tent because how I had my old setup was I had that 65 in a 3x3 and that tent stayed exactly where it was for 6 years. Did not move. Just that was the tent spot. And it happened like the only spot that I had open at the time because I didn't rearrange my room was in front of my closet. So I set it up so I got like this little narrow like sideways walk path to get to my uh to get to my closet. And I don't want to do that again. I did 6 years of that. That's why I want to set it up on wheels and casters and I can just like, "Ooh, okay, get to my stuff, whoop, put it back." And uh I just really want to look into making sure that I have a setup that can handle another 65-gallon pot run because I got everything set up for it. I just need to have it all together and I don't want to overload anything and then I'm like stuck with 65-gallon pots like just like one huge one. Yeah. What's up, Miranda Family Farms?
What up, Raptor? What up, Eagle? Chat?
What's going on?
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, once you get a perpetual going, man, it's hard to look back. I'm
Nah.
appreciating it right now too. Still not fucking done with the outdoor. I'd rather have a little bit at a time, delegate, spread that work out to like all the time. You know what I mean? Have
Yeah.
a little bit fresher weed. It's yeah, I much prefer the perpetual harvest versus just a single runs. Like you said, you just get more. It's easier. I
Yep.
agree.
Exactly. And I could never go back to 110 again. And even if I do 110, like one larger tent, I would have something smaller, like a very, very small, like cloning space at least. So I can get stuff like keep stuff longer and then like put it in rotation faster. So I can at least make sure I get at least 4 runs a year.
Right on.
That's my goal. Just we'll see. I really like those clone intents from AC, like the new kind of style, or maybe it's not new, but the shorties where it's wide and fat, like it's short and wide and fat, where you get lots of space to like just put a couple clone domes. Cheers. Oh,
Just
4 minute
smoke
warning.
like Miranda.
Yeah, we got ourselves 20 to 24 inches of snow Sunday and Monday, so that sucked. My whole right shoulder and back so fucked up from shoveling. And then like this morning we got another like 4 inches overnight, so I had to like re-shovel everything today, which sucked. And now they're talking about another blockbuster snowstorm on Sunday. Like, that's horrible.
Oh yeah, I knew it was coming. When fucking fall, fall was too good to us. At least here in
Too good to be
Michigan,
true. Yep.
we were gonna pay 1%.
Did it rain for you during fall around harvest at all? No?
Dry and
Good.
warm, dry and warm, all the way to like fucking. I had second week in November. Up until then in Michigan, which that almost never happens.
Nice. I know that actually I'll have to double check with like the timing, but I could probably throw like a couple girls outside and they won't get too big in flower, but we'll see. I've done it before where I put them out and they just make it to like 13 hours, like adding on more and more time. So I was happy to like cut it off early just in case like it would like go back into re-veg.
One year over here, I harvested probably end of September, early October, and then I put a couple plants that were um, started inside. They were deadlights from Subcool. I put them outside then, and we had actually like a decent like winter beginning. So I ended up harvesting those things like towards like the middle of like December. But the only problem was like the cold definitely stunted it. Like the plants were small, the buds were like larvae and shit. But I pulled it off.
Nice.
It's
Eagle, your
nice to run
birthday's
those
on the Super
experiments.
Bowl. Your birthday's on the Super Bowl this year, huh?
Is it? I don't know. I haven't watched football in a long fucking time.
Yep. Eagle's birthday's coming soon. DOA's birthday would have been on Valentine's Day, and then mine's the day after.
Right on. Bingus is coming up as well. There's so many February birthdays coming up. Uh, Carlton and Chad, and yours. You got a daughter the day before mine, right? And then
My daughter's is the 8th.
okay, okay, same day, and yours is the day before, right?
And mine's the 15th, the week
Oh,
after.
right on. I thought there was another birthday near you, like the 7th. Not necessarily the 8th, but there was somebody around the 7th.
No, I got my son's birthday is tomorrow, which is still Aquarius.
Right on.
He's gonna be 25.
I'm wondering who's the 7th. It might be Carlton that I'm thinking out. He said, yeah, but he's the 9th. Oh, fuck, man. Somebody was just telling me their birthday was the 7th, and it was like on the show. So, fuck, who was that? Oh, DGC's the 3rd. There's a lot of February 3rd babies. Come on. dogs don't stay outside very fucking long when it's this cold. It's like fucking minus fucking 15 out there right now.
Fuck that.
Cheers, MS Warrior. Yeah, fuck that cold.
Ripping a dab right now on the 20.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, when you're done with that, Miranda, tell us what about it.
This is Banana Conda. That's the name of the strain. I don't know the genetic makeup of it, but I got it in Maine. It's kind of made its rounds around Maine for a couple of years now, in all like flower and concentrate form, and I really like it. I don't know how to describe the flavor other than it's good, but the the deal was even better. I got like 7 grams for $50, which is like unheard of over here in Mass. Overall, pretty good though.
I was questioning the validity of the Bob Marley movie I was watching yesterday on Netflix. When they cut to a scene like he's smoking a joint and it's 100% a cone. It's a cone. I don't think in Bob Marley's day that they were smoking cones. That's all I'm saying about that movie. I don't think Bob was smoking cones. All right. I giggled when I caught it too. I was like, somebody just ran to the dispo for that scene and shit.
He's
It was
like
kind of funny, really.
like 4 or 5 years ago. His Stephen Marley was in Mass doing something, and I ended up this guy I know. He needed bud to give to Steve so he could smoke, obviously, and so like I ended up getting the bud under my medical allotment. It was like dispo bud, but it was decent shit, and so I could say like I helped supply Bob Marley's kid with bud at one point in my life.
Pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it was a pretty good movie overall. The Bob Marley movie there. It would have been fucking cool to meet him or any of his family there. I played the Julian Marley song there. I used to play it all the time, but I fucking started getting copyrights on it, so I had to quit playing it. Cool.
Yeah, I haven't caught the movie. What's the title? Like,
Bob Marley.
is it Bob Marley? Okay, just started good.
Yeah,
Like,
it's all about
hope it's
him.
not this ridiculous title. Just like, yeah,
It was straight about him and his life there.
you recommend it?
Crazy, he
Good
died
stuff. No?
from cancer from the foot there, from the toe injury. That's how he died.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and he had been shot and lived through a lot worse shit. To die from a toe injury that you didn't fucking take care of that would be wild. Be wild to go out like that.
Just like infection or something? Just
Yeah, he had broken the
okay.
bone and it didn't do
Uh,
anything from it, and then it got infected, and then it turned into cancer, and just it ended up spreading through his system real quick and killing him.
uh,
I know, right?
I went to last Saturday that just passed. I went to Rhode Island to go see one of the Ghostface Killer from the Wu-Tang Clan, and I haven't been to this venue in a while, so I kind of I've been to so many I forget what's what. But obviously, like going to a show and being able to smoke, it's indoors. makes the show that much better. So like I always bring like 9 pre-rolls with me, uh, or whatever. So like I go there and the first thing I see is the owner of the place smoking on stage, and I'm like, oh hell yeah! And then like right after the DJ was like, this is 18 plus, so if you got them, fucking smoke them. And I was like, oh hell yeah! You know what I mean? The show was so much better like that, and I'm actually going back there in 10 days to see Smith and Wesson and Onyx, so I already know I can smoke in there. It's gonna make it that much better.
Dog pounds in chat. Patty the Batty. That was the first fighter I've seen ever get fucking he's suspended because you got your face beat in. I caught that today. They actually suspended Patty for at least 30 days. And it could be extended for his own good, for his own health. It wasn't like because he did something wrong or he cheated or anything. They're like, yeah, no, you're suspended. You don't even think about fighting for a while now. Yeah. That's the first I had heard of anything like that, but it's a thing, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. It was a pretty good fight though. You guys watch UFC at all? Boxing, fighting, at all?
I do, but that was Saturday, right? I wasn't home.
Yeah, that was Saturday.
Nah, more so when I was younger with my older brother. And yeah, because I was in some martial arts when I was younger too. So it was cool. I mean, just it was more so just family time, and then got older, you know, start talking to more girls, less time at home.
For me, it was the legality of it. I wasn't going to jail. Fucking, I used to play sports all. That's why I don't watch football. I played
Mm,
sports all through school, and when I laid it down, and it wasn't necessarily gonna be a thing, I quit fucking entertaining it at all. I started chasing ass and all that good
Jason
shit.
Tail, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so UFC didn't come back around into my life until fucking McGregor, Conor McGregor, fucking COVID, all that good shit. Yeah, the smack between him and yeah, that was all good. That sucked me right back in. So yeah, I've been keeping up with the UFC ever since. Which
What up,
again,
Big Dave?
I don't know.
What's
It's been
going on, everybody? Cheers, Eagle, Raptor, Miranda.
Jesus.
how you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. Getting snowed in. Well, we got snowed in.
Oh no.
Oh, we got another storm coming this weekend. That storm just the other day hammered us. We got almost 30 inches.
Holy shit. What state are you in?
I'm in New York.
Oh yeah, you're next to me then.
Yeah.
Yep, because we got like 20 to 24.
Yeah, I'm a little over 24, 25 inches. I'm right there with you. We're supposed to get it again this weekend. Ah,
Yep, on Sunday. Sunday, same shit. Sunday and a Monday.
yup. It's all right. I got laid off, so I'm laid off for the next like 3 weeks till the snow melts. But I saw you were on. I figured I was going to come smoke one.
Fuck yeah.
Fire it up.
Yeah, buddy.
What same stuff? I forgot what you smoked, what you
Z
jammed
pie.
with there.
Yeah, the Z pie is great, man. I was smoking this Neon Dream earlier too. It was actually pretty good. I don't know if you can see it, man. My camera sucks. I wish you could smell it. Fucking delicious.
Sooner or later, we'll probably get there.
This will be around for a while, man.
No, I mean smell-o-vision. I mean, they're already getting like the 3D experience. Do you think at some point they'll figure it out? At least be able to, I don't think it will like. They'll just figure out a way to like hit the neurons in your fucking brain and shit to where you think you can smell what has already been predetermined that smell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll be there someday. I'll be scared. I don't want to be hooked up at that point. I don't want instantaneous like feelings and shit like that to be beamed in. Just that's weird.
I'm good with my analog body for now. You know, I had this conversation with friends like years ago. Like, oh, uh, if you could like, uh, what's that deal? Basically, Matrix, where you could plug in and like do all that. Would you? And my answer was like, I would be the 300th millionth customer. Once you have it where it's like undeniable and everywhere, and then that's when I'll adopt. You know, it's like okay, but then yeah, yeah, that would be my main thing. I would. I was a late adopter for the iPhone. It's not gonna be, you know, it's gonna be. I'm gonna be way more suspicious
I still
on that end.
haven't put any kind of virtual anything on my face and kind of refuse it, to be honest
No,
with
no puppy face stuff for me. No,
you. Good.
Me neither. But my son plays that VR on his PlayStation.
I haven't even done that, and I'm into games and everything. But that all seems pretty cool. From what I've seen, like there's been like mods where you can play older games, and you're basically the virtual avatar of
Well,
the
that's
main
pretty cool.
character. Yeah, yeah. So
It's funny
that's where
watching some of the
yeah,
stuff he does. It's funny. Like I sit back, like, what the fuck are you doing, kid? And I'm looking like, oh, that's like pretty cool. The one day I get home from work, I couldn't even get in the house. Him and his friend, they had the whole living room cleared out. Like all the furniture moved. My recliner was blocking the front door. I'm like, damn, I can't even get in my own house.
as long as you put it back,
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're
Yeah,
fine.
I'm probably one of the
Yeah,
coolest dads in the world, man. And
yeah, yeah.
my son knows it. I really am. Like I'm very I raised my kid differently than how I was raised. Don't get me wrong. I got my ass beat when I grew up. I wasn't abused, but when I did wrong, I got my ass whooped. And I try to have a different approach on that. And it's been tough, but I think he's getting it because he's really come around. I'm very proud of the way he is and things like that. And ever since I've got full custody of him, and I've had him, like his life has turned around. His schooling, his grades were in the 50s, low 60s. Now he's high honor roll. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
It makes me proud, more proud than he'll ever know. But I
Yeah.
took a
Well,
different approach on that. But yeah, I let him
just to
pretty much
show
do
your
it.
hard work paid off. That's awesome.
Yeah, it feels good. At least I know one thing in life I didn't fuck up. So
I come from the ass whooping era as
Me
well,
too.
there, Dave. And I think I was blessed with three girls, which made it like there's no way. You know what I mean? My
God
girls
bless
were
you.
my girls, yeah. They barely knew go to their fucking room. You know what I mean? So that made it a little easier to make that transition. Yeah, I blame myself in a lot of ways for that though. I mean, fuck, I didn't. Those girls never seen fucking mowing a lawn, changing a tire, But nowadays, I kick myself because now I'm still getting those calls. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking, fuck, I should have showed you how to change a goddamn tire. Yeah. Not that I don't mind being there, but I'd have the security of knowing they knew how to do it. You know what I mean? They could take
Yeah.
care of themselves.
Well, I
They
think I
get
told you. I think I told you during my interview. That's when around the time I had just gotten full primary custody of my oldest, and he's autistic. He's high functioning autistic. So don't get me wrong, man. It hasn't been a gravy train, You know what I mean? It's been a struggle, but it's been a struggle that I'm proud I had. You know what I mean? It's an experience that I can't even explain, man. You physically have to go through it. You know, and he's very handy, man. He's out wanting to mow. He's out wanting a job. He's not even 16 yet. He's gonna be 16 in March, and he got his first part-time job over the summer, just over the summer at the ice cream stand. You know, he just wants to work. He's like me. He just wants to work, and he's very handy. He's actually pretty handy, man. He's gets his shit done. So
My grandson is on the autistic scale 4 right now, and I feel a special like kind of attachment with him. I feel like I don't know, like there's a lock there. When I come in, he seems to like he grunts right for me, grabs my hand, and like let's go. And
pop pop.
I
Yeah.
run right with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That
buddy.
kid, I
Well,
love
yeah.
that fresh energy right there, and he's awesome. I can see that spark in his eyes. He's still, you know, he's 4 at the moment, and he's still not spitting out a lot of conversation. He speaks a little bit with sign language. You know, he went to speech today and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that being everybody I've ever met on the autistic scale has been super smart, special in a lot of fucking ways.
Sometimes too smart for their own damn good. Speaking of my
Right?
son, man,
So
you know, I just wise ass thing. Like we were at a buddy's for dinner. I go to a friend of mine down the street, one of my best friends. You know, he got his wife and kids. You know, we do dinner and shit at least 2 nights a week. And anyway, I was yelling at him about something. I'm like, yo, knock your shit. Like, he's being a knucklehead. He's being a kid, but he was getting out of control. And he pops his head around the corner. He's like, if you got a problem, take it up with the manufacturer. I'm like, you little motherfucker. Yeah, I'll take it up with the manufacturer. You're grounded. Fucking kid.
I had a super awesome I don't know how to feel. I felt good, but I don't know how to feel about what I'm about to tell you is so my oldest daughter, love her to death. She don't watch the show. It is what it is. And it is what you know, whatever. But she is the mother of my grandson, Chase. And I get a text from her the other morning that absolutely made me smile. And as we talk about, you know, them being super smart and everything, he's been, which against I don't like it. He's very tech smart already. He can work his way around the phones. He knows to fucking get whatever he wants to get. He's been watching videos forever, but he brings mom her phone. He's got her phone the other day, and brings her the phone and is pointing at it. It's videos of Grandpa on YouTube. I was like, that's awesome.
Did she finally break down and watch one?
Oh, she's watched over the years, but she's whatever. I know. So yeah, I thought that was awesome. It's been a while since she's watched. I can tell you that. So it's like you shouldn't. How he got there and whatever, but I don't know. I thought that
Nice.
he knew, and it was obviously kind of proud. I found Grandpa. I was like,
my son was born, and when he was little, he was autistic, and he was the same thing, Eagle. He wasn't really talking, pointing to stuff. We used to have like a picture book for him to point at things that he might have wanted, like a Pop-Tart or whatever the fuck it was. And we used to have people come to our house once a week, and then I'd go to like, this was horrible, but we'd go to it was just me and my kid. We'd go to like a parent kid group, and the first hour it would be all the parents and the kids together, and then the second hour they'd break the kids away, and the parents would all go off in a different room. And I was the only guy, and it was a bunch of ladies passing around tissues, crying and shit. And I'm like, oh man, this is horrible. You know what I mean? But he went to a bunch of like a a preschool, and like I was a special preschool and like an integrated uh like kindergarten type thing where there was like half the kids needed extra help and the other half were not. And between the different like programs that he was in, they ended up using like posted his picture on the Plymouth public school system. But when he was in that integrated thing, and then I forget the name of the program, he was on their website too, because he went from like being non-communicating and all that to a complete 180. You know what I mean? And they removed him off of like being any of like part of the autistic part, and like uh so like it's somehow like some kids can grow out of it.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've definitely heard that. I wish mine would because I don't like the medications that they primarily have them on. I'm not a fan of pharmaceuticals at
Neither am
all.
I.
I was telling you, I was looking into that with if I'm not mistaken, it was Brown Guy 420 was doing that where he was like breaking down CBD and it was pure. There was no THC and they had stuff for autistic kids. Everything, just everything. And I'm like, well, that would be a more natural way to go. And I still talk about it, but I haven't done my due diligence with like being a single dad. I really haven't had the time to really deep dive into it. But that's still something that's I really want to get onto.
Yeah, that's yeah, I don't know. That's a funny subject all in all with that. He was a miracle baby and all because she was on uh she had one of the contraceptive devices that where she wasn't supposed to get pregnant 99.9%, and she ended up getting pregnant with him. So he
Oh,
was
you're
kind
right,
of a
miracle baby.
miracle baby, period. Yeah, so I believe that, and I was actually uh, one the first person to hold him in the family there. Um, that was a very special moment. Now, me and my daughters have always been super close. My oldest there was a daddy's girl, growing up, always with me forever. Everywhere I went, she was always there, cutting tile or whatever the fuck I needed her to do. She wanted to be there, doing estimates, grocery shopping, whatever I did, she wanted to be there. And when it came down to it, it kind of sucked because it was in COVID there. And we rushed down state to the birth, and it was. I can laugh about this now. I don't know if the ex can, but so rushed down there, and we're having our moments. Period. But this is somewhat drawing us together. We're getting ready to be grandparents, and so we get there, and we go in. The hospital says only two people in the room, and one of those seats is already occupied by the father. You guys got to make a choice. And both of us kind of look at each other and we're like, we're not conceding to the other, really. And I kind of, I do, I'm like, well, it's up to her. Either way, she wants mom, I'm good with that, whatever. But when I come down to it, dad got called to the plate.
Nice.
So I went up there and was with her during the birth. There was complications after the birth with Brittany, and they had to rush her off into uh, to work on her for other reasons. But I got to be the first one to hold the baby and hold him. And I knew, and I told him right then and there that the world had something special in store for him. And I still believe that today, and I can see it in his eyes now. He's just like I kind of put it in as far as a bamboo tree. kind of basically. This kid's charging, man. Basically, to a bamboo tree, you don't get nothing for 5 years. It's all in good faith. You know, you water every day, water every day, and water every day. And then that first year of growth, you get 30 fucking feet. It goes from 0 to 30 feet. And I can see it in his eyes. You know what I mean? He's trying to communicate, and he communicates. He gets his way. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily the words that we communicate with, but he's he's in a different era, man. He's fucking with the digital shit constantly. You know, so he knows what the words mean, all that. It's just a matter of time before that door opens or breaks down, and we can. It's fucking 5 years or 4 or 5 years, all and boom, one. You know what I mean? That year is gonna be 30 feet in fucking growth, and you know what I mean, in our direction in one fucking year is what I really see in his eyes. So whatever comes. I'm gonna love him to death no matter what. But I see something special, and I always have. I really believe that, you know, he will grow out of it. I hope he, in your case with your son, he does as well. But again, it's not a holdback. That's a secret that's a secret weapon.
Yeah. He's smart, man. He is. He really is. Like I said, man, a lot of times he's too smart for his own good, though, man. But you talk about daddy's girl and always wanting to be with you, man. I gotta twist his arm to do anything with me, anything with daddy. Not dad, I want to play my game. Not dad, I'm going to hang out with my friends. Or, he's always got something doing. And like, I can't even be mad because I was the same way as a kid. I'm like, damn, I was the same way, man. Shit, all those times my pops wanted me to go hang out and I didn't fucking go and I didn't go do this and but whatever, it is what it is. We do spend time. I make him spend time with me. Like we're going to a friend's house tomorrow. I normally be like, oh, can I stay home? I'll make myself something to eat. And I'm like, nah, ain't happening, dude. Like, end of story. You're coming to hang out with me and everybody else. And like, but he is, man. And tech savvy it isn't even the word. Like I didn't even know there was spam until he told me spam. Like spam. Like shit, you eat. What do you know about spam, kid? I never fed you spam before. He's like, no, your email that.
So, as you look back as yourself as a young kid, do you see any of the similar traits there? Because we grew up in a different era. There was a lot less labels, as we'll say, as we
I do. I do. You know what I mean? I definitely see a lot of me in him. And the stuff he does, and even when he's acting up, like it's like, damn, man. And I picture back to me. You know what I mean? And I was talking to my mom about this, and because there are times, man, where he can be off the chain. You know what I mean? He hasn't had an easy life, man. He really hasn't, with the issues with me and his mother and things like that. And he actually seen it on the second round. He was old enough and able to see it with his own eyes. Dude, it breaks my heart the way he talks about his mother, dude. It breaks my heart. But I can't correct him. People like, you're not going to stop him and talk. Like, nah, dude. Why? He's right. You know what I mean? He's smart. He knows what he's seen. You know what I mean? Like, how do I correct that? You know what I mean? But they are, man. I see a lot of me in him and the things he does, how he carries himself. He's out here in his logger boots. He's just a country boy, just like Daddy was. So the apple didn't fall too far from the tree, man. Where else got it coming?
My stepson had him and his girl had a kid like 5 years ago. So I've been a grandpa for like 5 years. But my stepson is like a big fuck up, and within like 6 months or some shit, he had lost him and the mom lost custody of their kid, which made me get fucked over. So like we don't even get to see the kid hardly ever. And so like I was grandpa and then it got taken away. That's crazy.
Yeah. Man, I don't know why people throw kids into things like that, man. Into mixes like that, man. If it's an adult problem, leave it to the adults. And there's no reason why innocent children got to be drugged into anything. this world is fucking crazy these days, man. This world is insane. So it is what it is. To each their own. But
Eagle, you saying that you held the kid for the first time, your grandkid. My daughter, when she was born, she was kind of my son and my daughter were both kind of like miracle kids too, because my wife had like uterus cancer, and she had it twice, and each time you have to get it like your uterus walls scraped, like scrape the cancer off. So the second time it was done, her walls are like paper thin, so she's really not supposed to have babies. You know what I mean? And somehow we had like both of them with no real problems, which was like really cool. But when my daughter came out, uh, they like put her off to the side and she wasn't breathing. So they had me like holding like an oxygen mask on her face, and I'm thinking like, what are you guys short staffed or something? Like I think that someone else should be doing this, or you know what I mean? Like I was bugging the fuck out. Like I was the first person to hold her, but she's not breathing. Wouldn't that be like a doctor's thing? Like I was straight panicking.
yeah,
That'd been a scary moment, that's for sure.
Well, I can say I did good too because I have a brother and two sisters. Me and my brother were big time fuck ups. We didn't graduate, dropped out of school, and out of trouble. My two sisters were like goody two shoes. So they'd like aced high school, aced college, have houses with pillars on them and shit. Right? But I didn't graduate, and all four of my kids, they all graduated. Two of them are in college, so I can say I did good.
yeah, man. Without a doubt.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations on that.
Yeah,
For sure.
and like you guys were saying, I was. You remember the story of bike seat and getting beat over the head with that shit? So, like, I was growing on into the era of getting beat down too as a kid. So my kids have no clue. They never been fucking hit once. You know what I mean? Barely even like because I don't want to. As a parent, you want to try to be better than what your parents were, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, man. And I don't mean to laugh about that being beat, man, but I tell my son that all the time. Like, especially when he's in trouble. I'm like, man, you know what the fuck problem is here? What's that? I'm not listening. That, and you ain't been beat yet, kid. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? And like, you got no clue, like, how easy you have it these days. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That makes me think about it, man. Think about that. Like, look how you were brought up. You know what I mean? You're not a bad person. We're all blue collar workers. You know what I mean? Trying to do our best in this world. You know, are we bad people? Were we brought up wrong? I don't think we were brought up. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are parents that take it too extreme. I'm not saying that. You know, with the beating on the children. But like I said, I was beat as a kid. Not
Hey,
like
man, I still
I
don't
was
think
a bad
there's
kid.
nothing wrong with that. You know, there was that we were the door right there. The door shut right after that. There was no more ass beatings after our generations. And so to speak to that, I'm not saying go beat your fucking kid by any means. No, I'm not. That's not cool. But reprimanding, like a simple reprimanding, the kids, the next generations, I didn't necessarily get it from my kids, but I seen it a lot from other, in other families, other parents and shit. Well, you go do that. I ain't gonna do that shit. Well, fuck you. It was just an argue match with those kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back and forth, no fucking respect. Back in my day, man, my dad had a fucking. There was a couple of like good ass whoopings. After that, he had to fucking look. That's all it took. You didn't want the fucking look. If you were in front of people,
For
and you
real.
were an asshole, and you got the look, woo! Oh,
Yep.
fuck, you might get the ass whooping anyway, but fucking, you knew the look was the fucking line. You know what I mean? That wasn't
Uh-huh.
necessarily, yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, but there was a mutual fucking respect thing right there. You know what I mean? You respected your parents. So yeah, I don't. There was a lot of respect lost between when
Well,
the reprimand stopped, I guess. And again,
needless to
I'm
say, I
not
got into a
pro
lot
beat
of
your
trouble.
fucking kids, so don't DM the shit out of me. That's not
That's what
what
I'm
I'm
saying, man.
saying.
You got to be careful what you say these days, man. People take it way too far, man.
Right.
But my point being is like I got beat a lot. I was the black sheep of the family. You know, there were 6 of us. And I'm the worst one. I mean, granted, I graduated. I'm the first male in my family that didn't go to the military. You know, but I'll tell you what, I had a full-time job since I was in high school, and I worked my ass off, and I still do every day. I mean, granted, I'm laid off right now for a couple of weeks. Kind of feels good, but I mean, you know what I mean. I've done this shit my whole life. You know, I'm not a bad person, and I don't think I've led a bad life neither. Not even with all my fuck ups. Like I've told you, even in my interview, I wouldn't change it for the world, man. Maybe who I am today. God bless me. Blesses me every day I wake up.
Yeah, I wouldn't change much either, to be honest with you. I seen, what was it, Chris Roots posted something the other day about work and when did you start work. And I know I started as soon as I could fucking push a mower. I was knocking doors, fucking asking if I could mow a lawn. So, I don't know, 7, 8 maybe, I guess, you know? Yeah, I mean, I started trying to make that dollar as soon as I could, and today it's more gimme instead of what can I do?
My son's out there hustling, brother. Like I said, I really, I really didn't go wrong. He's out there shoveling or snow blowing when it's thing in the summertime. I mean, I live in a trailer park, so you know what I mean. It's close. It kind of helps, you know what I mean. But he's out there mowing lawns. You know what I mean. He got a job at the ice cream stand last year, and he was just talking. As a matter of fact, tonight about he wants to do it again in the summer. Let's see if he can get more hours now that he's old enough to be on the. I mean, he was on the books and shit, but you know he's able to work longer hours now. The New York's crazy with their labor laws and shit like that, but I can't complain, man. You know what I mean? And then pretty much anytime he asks for something, he works for it. You know, I give my kids everything they want. They ask for it, yeah, you're gonna earn it. You know, I give them goals and shit to do, or you know, and they want it that bad. Guess what? And my kids want it that bad, so I got to put my fucking money where my mouth is and eventually cough it up for them.
I don't know what's going on with the kids around here, but there's nobody out here. There used to, like Eagle was just saying, it used to be me, my buddies, packs of kids going around shoveling snow. There's no one's out shoveling snow right now. No kids are out here doing any of that. Bunch of lazy fucks.
Oh, I do see a few, like when I'm on Facebook, I see a few on like the local town sites. There'll be like 1 or 2 kids, you know what I mean? Out there, oh, I'm shoveling. If this is where I'm at, if you're in the area, you know what I mean? I do see it on Facebook. Not many though. Not like it was. Like, you're right. When we were kids, we were all out there hustling, man.
Fuck yeah. Bundle
Shit,
up, throw that fucking shovel over your shoulder, and head out, man.
Yeah,
Today's
you get
kids got
warm
it
with the
even
shoveling.
better. They got fucking headphones and shit. We didn't have headphones when we were rocking out the fucking
We did.
driveways.
We did. We just couldn't use the Walkman out then back then, man. It would freeze.
Oh, you must have be a few years behind me, Dave. I didn't have them.
I had a Walkman. Yeah, man.
I grew up in the ghetto blaster fucking days, man. Yeah, fucking. I don't think I seen a Walkman until 19 maybe, 18, 19
Really?
maybe. Yeah. I'll be 54 next month, Dave.
I'm
50
younger than
fucking
you. I'm
4.
younger than you. I'm 47.
See, that's what I mean. Well,
Yeah,
Younger than
I'm
you.
47 too.
yeah, that is at your age when you're talking about shoveling driveways, you're like another 7 years. You know what I mean? In technology, there, I guess. Yeah. So
We're on the
I'm
scale
guessing like
still.
79, something like that.
Motherfuckers these days don't know what a Walkman is. uh, yeah, one of my good friends. It's actually funny. We said that one of my best friends. He's got his dad passed, and he wound up getting his dad's truck, and it's old. It's like a 1990 something Ford F-250. It's nice, dude. It's in sweet condition, diesel, fucking, but it has a cassette player. And motherfuckers ain't got cassettes anymore. I mean, I do store it somewhere. I still got some mixtapes and shit somewhere. But he got a portable CD player that you play with cassette tape like you used to have back in the day. Like,
Oh yeah, with the wire.
yeah. I'm
Yep.
like, damn, dude, it's time to upgrade, man. You want me to buy your radio? He goes, nope, we'll keep it. I'm like, damn, son.
Yeah, I remember
Oh,
literally when I was growing up, if you were walking around with the most biggest and offensive fucking radio you could get, you know what
The
I
boom
mean?
block
Yeah, the boombox. Fuck yeah.
with the
They
double
were
cassette player.
offensive too, man. You heard that shit for blocks.
That shit was heavy too. It took like fucking 8D batteries. You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, we had a phase with the radio too. In our ghetto days, we used to walk around with a radio.
Oh man, I miss them. I miss them these days, man. The little speakers sound good, but they're not nearly the same as the good old speakers, in my opinion.
Yo, a buddy of mine got this Bluetooth. You wheel this motherfucker around, dude. It's on a car. It's got like disco lights on it and shit, dude. It's pretty loud, bro. And it goes off your phone. It's pretty fucking loud.
Nice.
Yeah, I use my little speaker at work and my phone. I jam out all the time. And then when I'm not playing, everyone's like, where's your music at? I'm like, I don't know. Where the fuck's your music at, bro? I'm not the DJ. You guys bitch at my music. Because I switch shit up, man. I listen to everything, man. It could be hip hop to country to some bluegrass. I don't know. Depends on my mood. To some death metal to classic rock to oldies. A lot of times it's mainly hip hop or oldies or country.
Are you near Brooklyn?
No, I'm like 60 minutes north of the Bronx.
I go to the Brooklyn Block Party every year in Bushwick. I don't know
Yeah.
if you ever been there or not, but it's like they have like 4 blocks of food trucks. It's free. There's a whole music stage.
Possible, bro. New York sucks, dude. It's a shithole.
I
I do go to Brooklyn, man. Shout out to Brooklyn, man. My rod builder's in Brooklyn. My man Mike. Guy I fish with, he's my rod builder. I'll actually be going to Brooklyn soon. He's building me a rod actually as we speak. Hopefully. He better be on it. Fishing season's right around the corner.
Making a trip to New York yesterday. Don't say that. New York don't suck that bad, does it? I've never been to the East Coast.
City does, man. I don't know, man. You got to be into the city life, I guess. I don't know. I grew up I grew up in the suburbs when I was little. We were 7. I told you this in my interview. We moved north. I've been in the country, and don't get me wrong, we got shitholes here too, like Newburgh. I'm 5 minutes, fucking 10 minutes from the city of Newburgh. Fucking, it's one of the worst capped cities in the fucking world per capita. You know what I mean? In the country. You know, I don't know if it still is anymore, but it was up there for a long time. It was number 1. But I mean, I like the country, man. New York City's nice from the water at nighttime when you're fishing. It's really nice from the water. Cool and shit. I like it, but the world's crazy, man.
Fuck yeah.
Shit's crazy.
All them people, I could imagine, especially New York City, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Times Square. That's a lot. But like Times Square on the TV might look huge, but it's not that big.
Yeah. I actually want to go to Times Square, man. I was talking with my buddy. We were going to go down there and just hang out, a city trip for the day.
Man, last time I was there, like they have like these places you could sit as you keep walking or whatever. Every spot was full, literally, with people sitting there cooking on a spoon, getting ready to shoot up. Like there's nowhere to fucking sit. It's like I found a spot to sit, me and my buddy, right? And there was this person that was taking like a nap, and they had like a sub with them or something, and they had the sub like kind of under their arm, and then we watched this person come up and like slowly like take the sub out from under the person's arm while they were sleeping. They got it and ran away with the person's sub.
Holding her on that one.
Yeah. A fucking pigeon. The pigeons are like people. They're not even scared of people there.
before I moved out of the east side of Flint, which was let's see, that had to be, I want to say 2005. I just fucking, my daughters were just old enough to start going to school, and there was no fucking way that I wanted them to go to Flint schools. So they were going to charter schools out in Grand Blanc. I was getting tired of running them back and forth. Decided we were going to get the fuck out of Flint. Unfortunately, we were in the east side of Flint at that point in time. And fuck, you couldn't, not park in the driveway, otherwise your car would get shot at. There was literally 2 holes, bullet holes, in my Grand Prix from the one night I parked out front. One in the bumper, and shit you not, one of them in the gas tank door. You know what I mean? Where you put your fuel in. 2 bullet holes in that motherfucker. People would like, what happened there? And people would ask all the time, yeah, I parked out in the road. But they were literally, there was a Kroger's right up the road from where I was staying. And at that point, they were literally fucking sucker punching people, fucking coming out of the grocery store and taking their groceries. And I was like, yeah, time to go.
Yeah.
We gotta get the fuck out of this town. And,
No, New York ain't all that bad, man. You come upstate, it's nice, man. You come upstate.
So,
we get country up here, man. It's nice. There are some really nice places up here. I'm grateful for where I live, man. I like it. But still,
it's actually evolved that far now to where it's hit bottom and it's going to come back up. It's been a while since I've been through there. It looked rough at one point, but I don't think
When do you think about coming to New York?
Huh?
Do you think about coming to New York?
Yes, sir.
When do you think about coming?
June.
In June?
Yeah.
Where to?
I'm not quite sure of that yet. But yeah, sometime in June.
Well, keep in touch. We definitely got to make this happen.
Right on.
You know, for sure. In June, it'll be nice too. June's good weather, man. It's hot weather.
Right on.
June's a lot. Well, depends on how north you are. I don't know where you're going, but further north you go, the cooler it gets. You get up in the mountains and shit like that.
Right on. Yeah, as soon as I figure it out 100% what time of the month I'll be there and exactly where I'm going, I'll let you know.
Oh yeah, man. East Coast Weed Nerd fucking meeting, son. Meet and greet. We can do this.
Right on.
Set this shit up. I'm game.
I'm game as well. Like I said, I've never been out there, and there's a lot of cool weed nerds out and near you guys. I can't believe you guys don't have more private weed nerd events, to be honest with you, because there is a fucking cluster around New England, New York, Boston, all that fucking area. There's a bunch of you guys right through there. I can't believe you guys don't get together and, trying to organize something that way.
I haven't followed that much on the thing. I mean, I catch the videos and shit like that, but life has kind of pulled me in a different direction, and I got to fucking buckle down and keep that direction for now. And, things have got back on track, but I fish a lot, man. I'm in Mass all the time, man.
Nothing wrong.
A buddy of mine has a charter business in Mass. I fish from Cape Cod to South Jersey and absolutely everywhere in between.
And I live over right by the Cape Cod Canal. So
yeah, do you? I'm in Cape Cod.
Right over there.
I'm gonna have to hit you up next year when I come.
Hell yeah.
I hold my PB in Cape Cod Canal. That's where my saltwater experience took over.
Yeah, I see a lot of people fish the canal, but I actually never seen anyone catch nothing.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Maybe it's just bad timing when I walk by, but
definitely bad timing. Because when I was there, I got my personal best. It was 47 3/4 inches, and it bottomed out the 50-pound boga like it was nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it was definitely over 50 pounds. And when I was there, it was a madhouse. You were shoulder to shoulder with people catching fish. It was insane. Like, oh my God, it was crazy. But I
you
tell
ever
you
see
what,
the barges that go through there? It doesn't even look like they're gonna fit under the bridge. They're like massive boats.
I fish by that bridge. That bridge is cool where it goes up the the railroad bridge.
Yeah, yep.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah, I
kind of
saw.
closer to where I live, is that end.
I saw. I saw a yacht. That's generally where I fish when I'm on land. Mainly, I'm on a boat. A buddy of mine's got a charter business right there. We go out of Buzzards Bay. Uh, but like when I'm on shore, that's where I fish is by the railroad bridge. I've always had my best luck right there. But I've seen yachts go through there, dude, with helicopters on them, and oh my god, dude, like, whew, wish I had that money, man. That boat going down a canal is probably costing them 50 grand. You know, they're going against the tide, and the canal
Hmm.
is something to be reckoned with, man. That's some
They
serious
got
tidewater.
they have a whole like show on modern marvels on the History Channel. You can find it on YouTube about the Cape Cod Canal.
Yeah, it's beautiful up there too, man. That'd be a nice place to go, Eagle. If you've never been near the ocean, find a spot near the coast. It ain't got to be New York.
Yeah, you might not want to go to like you might not want to go to the New York water. This
Long
is
Island,
nasty.
Long Island's pretty nice. Long Island's really nice, man. You get out of the city, away from the city. Long Island's beautiful. Very expensive though, man. Very very expensive to be on the island. You know, Montauk, there ain't nothing, but it's beautiful, dude. It's just ocean and mom and pop shops. You know what I mean? And resorts, you know, people go there vacation and shit, but it's mainly beach, man. It's beautiful.
I never been there. I never been to Staten Island or Long Island. I'm going to Staten Island this year in the summer, just because it's where the Wu Tang's from. I'm doing the pilgrimage.
Nice.
Check out the murals and shit. You know what I mean?
You could say you're a true fan. You do shit like that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I asked the dude that still lives in the 160 building, Park Hill Projects, Capadonna's brother. I was like, so if I go through there, am I gonna get fucking, am I gonna get jacked? And he started laughing. He's like, nah, maybe like back in the day, but you're good now.
Yeah, that's the same thing kind of with Flint there. When I went out to San Francisco there, and soon as I got into the town there, I was more blown away by San Francisco, the crime, the homelessness, all that bullshit in San Francisco. I had never seen any kind of bullshit like that in Michigan. I'm sure there's places where they have tent cities and shit like that, but it was never so in your face and shit like that. And there was definitely spots where I was warned not to be, wandering through San Francisco and shit. Like they're like, yeah, no, they'll fucking rob your ass in a second you go down that way. And there's not too many places like that. I'm sure there's a lot of shitholes in Flint, but it's, I
Speaking of tent cities, man, I've never. I mean, where I live, you'll see a homeless person. You know, it depends on like where you go. Like I said, I live in the country, man. Uh, you get into like the city of Newburgh area, you'd see them now and then, like in my drug days, like when I was getting high and shit. Like I'd see homeless on the street. You know, I was just it made me think when you're talking about being in cities. I'm working in Paterson, New Jersey, and I tell you what, man, seeing these people living on the streets in tents and just it's disgusting, man. It's like fucking it makes me want to puke, dude. Like really does. And it's these people's choices, like just programs for them to they can go to a shelter better than being on the street. You know what I mean? Like especially in the elements. It's heartbreaking, man. But you know these people make the choices.
My brother went on the run for 12 years, and when he first left here, he moved to Patterson. Place was a shithole.
Still
Newark, Orange, they're all fucking horrible.
Still is. Nah, well, there's a lot of building going on in Patterson. I can't talk about it. I don't live there, man. But where I'm working, yeah, it looks like a shithole. You can see all the druggies just walking around. There are people shooting dope on the side of the road, sleeping on the side, shooting dope, falling asleep on the sidewalk. You know what I'm saying? Broad daylight, ain't nobody doing anything. But there is a lot of construction going on there, and it looks like they're trying to rehab the community where I'm working. And it looks like they're making a good effort, but they got to get rid of the people, though. It ain't going to change if you don't get rid of the people.
there is a fine line there between trying to help and the want there with that. I've seen that firsthand myself, and it is a quite the quorum on what to do about that. Offer the proper opportunities where you can get them interested back into wanting to work and supporting themselves, getting
Get them
themselves
off the
off the
drugs, brother.
drugs and shit
And
like that.
most of them are drugs. I can't say all of them because they're not. Obviously, they're not. But majority of them are drugs. And I'm sorry, coming from one addict before, like you're not going to change these people. They have to change themselves, man. That's a touchy subject. You know what I mean? Like I told you in my interview, whether people liked it or not, I'm still firm on that because I was one. I was an addict. You're not going to tell me. I'm telling you through my experience. Okay, maybe you had a different experience, but the only way I changed was between me wanting to change and talking about it and doing it are two totally different things, man. You know, people
No,
are
I
scared.
can.
They're scared. It's all I can say. That's all I can think of coming from my perspective of being in an act at one time. You know, they're scared.
I have a lot of buddies that passed away from. It started off with old OxyContin. So like the last time I went to my doctor's, uh, I've had the same primary for like 25 years, so they know that I hate pills. But I told them like this time I'm here to pill seek. So I told them like there's like 3 to 5 times a year when my back is so bad that I actually do need something.
Yeah.
So I told him like, can you prescribe me like 5 pain pills, no refills, just 5 pills, and if I need them, I have them, and if I don't need them, then I don't take them. But so he prescribed me like OxyContin 5. They actually still make oxys. I didn't even know that. But I have them, and it's weird to have these because I'm so against them for so long. You know what I mean? But and the fact that like a lot of my friends are gone because of these fucking things.
Of course, the government still makes those. What are you killing me? They're
See,
fucking.
that's the sad thing right there. Where they can blame a lot of fucking drugs, but I don't think half of them have half of the people with drug addictions are bad. Don't get me wrong, but marijuana's been blamed as the biggest fucking gateway for that shit.
Get the
But
fuck out
in
of
reality, it's been the pharmaceutical drugs, opiates and shit like that, and people
here. And
not knowing. Let me finish, Dave, because this is important. People not knowing the difference about the drugs leaving their system and the pains that they're having. They simulate them for one the same. They want to, when in reality, their body is doing fine and they could probably most definitely be doing without the opiates. But as they try to shake the opiates and stuff like that, the body starts to fucking hurt and they assume it's the pains coming back. So they like keep the safety blanket going and going, and then the addiction gets bigger and bigger. I've seen it 1,000 times. I myself I have never been addicted to none of these substances. I've been blood. This is my biggest demon right here. I've taken psychedelics. I've fucking dabbled a little bit here and there, but I fucking never have been addicted to anything to where it's controlled my life like that in any way, shape, or form. I've grown up around all that shit, so I have a high stay the fuck back with that shit, especially with the pharmaceutical drugs. I can remember pills being traded as far back as I can fucking remember. There's been weed and pills as far back as I can remember since. You know what I mean? Growing up, I've seen its struggles from growing up around it, family members, friends being addicted to drugs, and fucking it's crazy the shit that I've seen drugs being to
That's
do.
how mine started. Pharmaceuticals.
So my firsthand experience is just that, seeing it. I've never necessarily had the vices myself. So, all I can do is listen to your guys' stories and heed the warnings and stuff like that. But fucking, I've seen it firsthand. You know what I mean?
I think
I
there should be
can
something done
say
about that, though.
the
The
lives it's
pharmaceutical
destroyed
companies.
and shit like that. So, man, I'm with
That's
you.
got a lot of people, brother. That's got a lot of people. That's how I think majority of these people have started are through pharmaceutical shit they were prescribed from a doctor. And you're right. I seen it firsthand, myself included. That's what got me pharmaceuticals. And before I knew it, it was over with. And I knew it. I'm like, dude, I'm a physical junkie, a clinical junkie.
It's in the numbers. Sorry, Miranda Family Farms. Cheers. It's in the numbers. I mean, look, it happens to athletes. It happens to moms.
Everybody.
It happens to
It
doctors.
can happen to anybody. And that's the shame. So why do we keep using these? That should be the question. We should be asking. So why can't we come up in today's day and age? We could figure something else out. There's other remedies besides these hardcore narcotics.
There's no money in that, to be honest with you. The medical system knows that.
It's ridiculous. Right here is what saved me, brother. This is what saved me.
I was just about to say I didn't want to interrupt the whole conversation because I liked where it was going, and I just don't like to interrupt. But yeah, I was just about to say I'm just strictly green, and then like actually I've been intaking more like mushrooms. Like I just did it like around New Year's, but it was a couple months before that just because some stuff was going on in the background of my family. I was like, no, I need to be present. Like the green is fine. Like it's a daily help, but like I wanted to be present. And yeah, it helped. Like just a little bit microdose. Those two things, it's nice, but for sure, green is what I try to like kind of push on. Like I shouldn't say push, but like, hey, this is an option. You don't. It's okay. It's okay. You
Well,
don't have to. Yeah.
at
Go
some
ahead.
points
Yeah.
we'll get to that. I mean, as far as like, I've been excited to see as I'm kind of like Z-Ty talking a little bit in the chat there with sports injuries. A lot of the books I've read in the last few years about running has incorporated. They're now mentioning marijuana, topicals, and the use of cannabis instead of opiates and shit like that. So
Oh, yeah.
we're coming there. We're getting there. You know what I mean? But we have to break loose from the stigma of marijuana. You know what I mean? In general, the whole getting high thing. People, as long as it's associated directly with like the hippie shit and getting high, people won't take it seriously as a medicine. That's the sad fact in reality of it all. But there's a lot, as far as pain goes, I believe that cannabis in some form, like we're talking topicals, in RSO form, if you want to go stronger, we're talking like a stronger pain. You could be doing globs of fucking RSO to fucking manage that shit. You're gonna be sleeping, but in that time you'll be doing a lot of healing too. And then I'm
Yeah.
sure that's in
Exactly.
most cases that's what you're doing with your opiates anyway. But so in time, I think we'll be coming to where they'll produce in it, and cannabis is not the old save all. There's other herbs and remedies that do the same, but are not being pushed forward because of the pharmaceutical bullshit. Pharmaceutical industries had way too much of a stranglehold on medicine, at least here in the U.S., for a very long time.
Yes.
Very long time. And it's sad because we used to seek these things out at one point, and now we don't. And it's fucking sad. Sad.
It is.
When the medical association there, what is it, the MDA, American Medical Association, yeah. That's been like I was saying that the other day. That's been a pharmaceutical mob since it was formed. It started as a good-hearted union to make sure doctors were being held to the proper standards, but that didn't last long. I mean, pharmaceutical, if you look into it, man, once pharmaceutical money started backing everything, it was all downhill from there. It's documented to this day.
Well, what do you think about them rescheduling marijuana? I'm hoping there can be some some more positive change for eventually nationwide legalizing it. I'm hoping, or my hopes. I don't think it's a safe all thing, but I believe it helps a lot of people and it helps a lot of things that narcotics are being given for and other synthetic drugs are being given for. You know what I mean? Like my mom just had hip surgery, man. I've been trying for years to get her to use. I got my uncle to use. I really wish my dad would have before he died. I got his brother to smoke again. He's like, I haven't smoked since Vietnam. And he actually went and got his medical card. He's got cancer and he's been smoking and it doesn't cure everything, but it gives him a better quality of life. You know what I mean? And that's all I'm trying to see out of it. Like I really wish my mom would eat a fucking piece of a gummy, to help her and stop taking these pills the doctor keeps jamming down her throat because she's old school. You know what I mean? Oh, well, the doctor said this, doctor said that, doctor. Okay, well, the doctor doesn't know everything, Ma. You know what I mean? Like you gotta do a little bit of research. You're home all the time. You're on the computer. Do a little bit of research. Stop playing your game and do a little bit of research. Go a long way. And it's just I don't know. Some people are just stuck in their old school ways, but I definitely agree. Pharmaceutical companies gotta not go, but they do make some things that are good. You know what I mean? And work. I believe. Don't quote me on that. But I think it's a great way to go with it, man. I'm sorry. Just to see the people it helped. It helps our soldiers. It helps, PTSD. That's a big thing for me. Like my dad had that. I grew up seeing somebody struggling with PTSD and things like that and help them. And I'm a firm believer in it, man. I'm sorry. The facts speak for themselves. And other countries have been doing studies for how many years? Look at the stuff they've come back with. How come we haven't followed suit? Is beyond me. We're so far behind on medical. I think.
As long as it's in the scheduled program, they'll still be able to outlaw it. It needs to just be outlawed or descheduled, period, and treated like a plant in general. You can't patent or outlaw any other plant, so why are we trying to keep it scheduled and fucking dictating it molecule by molecule? That's half the struggles right there, is we're treating it molecule by molecule instead of the plant. See, that's what it's not the plant that doesn't transcend state or country lines. It's the mentality of the molecules of the plant. And there's nothing else in the world that we treat like that. And it's fucked up. So we need to not just deschedule it. Or just reschedule it. We need to deschedule it. It shouldn't even be a conversation. We should be talking about this like any other herbal remedy, to be honest with you. Milk thistle, stinging nettle, any of that. You know what I mean? They're not individually fucking outlawing molecules of those plants because there's a pharmaceutical value in it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just hoping for the best, man. I just hope something good happens here with this, and and we move forward from it, and just continuously to move forward from it. I agree with you 100%, but we both know that ain't happening anytime soon. But we're headed in the right direction. I'm sorry, I've seen it move forward here in New York anyway. I can only speak for New York. You know what I mean? I can't talk about any other state, but in New York, it's moved forward slowly. I think we're one of the most lenient smoking states. You can smoke anywhere you can smoke a cigarette. I kind of like that. That's pretty fucking cool.
I am excited that as we do talk about rescheduling or descheduling, that the thought of medical marijuana is being brought back to the forefront. You know what I mean? It isn't just being talked about making it legal or recreational across the board. It's being talked about, it does have a medical value. Reestablishing that as the true is super important to our fight. 100%. They've been trying to discredit cannabis as a medicine for fucking years. So the fact that they're like even nodding the head that way and having doctors, the fact they had doctors behind Trump at that signing going, yay, that right there was a huge step forward. You know what I mean? But we're far from done, and I'm telling you, I see it more and more people talking about it. Mark my words, unless we band together and start fucking voting and making calls and shit, they are gonna take our home grows. They're already working against it, so
I haven't
we
heard that about New York, but I don't know. But as a medicine, you know what? Not for nothing, it does the same goddamn thing the doctor was prescribing me. I'm telling you, as for me, I mean, it did depend on what I smoked. You know what I mean? What strain it was I was smoking, how hard it hit. You know, but it did the same thing the painkillers did. And not for nothing, I have 100 times better quality of life. It's hands down, dude. It's common sense. They're just politics, dude. They're fucking evil. They're all evil. I don't care what side of the table you're on, right, left, in the middle. They're all no good, man. And they're the ones that dictate all of this. They're the ones that could be making this right. Well,
I
have
think
another guys, and I'm going to bed.
hey Dave, I appreciate you popping in.
Yeah, man.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Hopefully, I'll
Have a
be
good
able to get
night.
on a little more. I mean, my days still go. I got to get up early still, get my son to the bus. And now that I'm home, I take him to the bus. He's spoiled. I remember growing up, kid, we had to walk. I just seen a meme on Facebook, scrolling through Facebook. Remember growing up, man, we didn't have snow days. The bus ran when there was snow on the road. You know, at least they did up here where I was. You know what I mean? Maybe Michigan is a little worse, different, but kids got snow days, and I'm like, man, you don't know how much you got it made, man. But Daddy will take you to the bus, though. I know how much it sucked. I lived it.
Hats off to those bus drivers, man. I don't know how they do it in the fucking inches of snow with the screaming kids and shit. That's a whoo. They
How do they
deserve
do it?
everything they make.
They do, man. They do. I don't know how they do it with all the kids, man. To be driving me nuts. I could. God bless them. But anyway, while I'm not working, this is what I'm going to be trying to quit. Tomorrow morning, this will be my first day. I'm going to try to quit smoking cigarettes again.
Good luck, brother.
Yeah, I'm substituting it with a fucking vape, man. Just, it's that habit. And that's how I quit last time. And then I put the vape down like it was nothing. And then fucking life took a fucking dramatic turn. And I'm just like, fuck it. Give me a cigarette. So, piss poor excuse, I know. But it is what it is.
Well, best of luck to you. I'm sure it's positive vibes on you going through. I used to smoke as a up until 18, like 13, 18. Yeah, the only thing that helped me out was green. So that's that's what helped me. But it was also an early case. So whatever you got to do, you got to do. Good on you. Let's focus on that. Just positives.
Yeah, my boy was telling me, anytime you want to smoke a cigarette, man, just smoke a joint. Roll a pack, fucking 20 joints.
Speaking truth, man.
You
I
know,
was gonna say something, but I don't.
if the vape don't work,
Your son
if the
said it for
vape
me.
don't work, that's what I'm doing.
Hey, I will say this. Check out a dryer vaporizer. You know, uh, maybe
It's a
look
good
into
idea.
that. It has a lot of nice flavor, and then just toss it out when it's brown, or even like what I do. I don't toss it. I boom. I have like a baggies of this, and you can just throw it into some brownies. As long as there's fat in it, and it's a brownie, you're just gonna be fat. It's good to go. You don't even have to do anything. So
How it,
do little stuff like that. I used to like even at work, I would take a little like spoon, like a tablespoon of that with peanut butter jelly, just eat that, and that helped me out. I did a lot of physical nursery, like lifting up trees. Okay, put this rack of 50 plants over here. All right, move all these piles of dirt over here. All right. Yeah, I needed it. So you do whatever you need to do. Just don't say anything to anybody. I mind my own business. I'm on my sandwich break. Yeah,
I got a
yeah, have a
vape
good
too.
one. Yeah.
I haven't really been into those weed vapes, but I tried a vape the other weekend and I really liked it. I tried a few of them, and this one I really liked. It's a rooted
Works for
vape,
you, man.
so that'll be my other while they're back up. So, but anyway, guys, you guys have a great night. It was good talking to you. Good to see you. Chat, have a good night.
Have a good night. Thanks for
Yes,
popping
sir.
in. Have a great day tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
I do believe the research ahead will create some problems. We're already seeing some of that today. As they like pinpoint and research some of these things, I think we'll see more and more of a scare that this molecule does this and it's 10 times, it's a zillion times stronger than THC. And if you were to smoke enough of it, you'll go cuckoo crazy. Where the reality of that, you being able to have those amounts of any of those molecules in those levels will be like, you know what I mean? So I think there'll be some scare tactics as they do like single out some of the molecules in research. But I look forward to the research overall. That's I've been a big supporter of medical cards anyway. There's a ton of reasons why. Still to this day, I've heard every argument for and against. Uh, they're saying my volume's low. For and against the medical cards, but it's oh yeah, the output's way down. Thanks,
Yeah, I
guys.
didn't want to interrupt you, but there was like a couple comments that just fired up, and yeah.
Probably too high now, but there's a lot of pluses to the research or medical cards. Back in the day, research, 100% research. You know, research doesn't get done until there's numbers. You know what I mean? So people pulling those cards and saying that medical cannabis helps them. That's already a number, an alarm for research. Now, once you start pinning down, you know, the ailments and hopefully being able to work with the patients to see where it works with what, you know what I mean? But nonetheless, the more cards, the more numbers being pulled, they can go. We have so many numbers for chronic pain. We not need now to put this amount of dollars into research. Those dollars don't come without numbers. You know what I mean? Or just the red flags or eyebrows being raised that there's the association between the two. You know what I mean? So I think it's still very important to pull those medical cards for those numbers. I think that we again the legal cannabis is erasing the power of medical cannabis in general. So I think it's and not only that here in Michigan where it's legal. Let's put it in these terms. We have it both ways here in Michigan. If you do not have your medical card and you get hurt on the job and you go get tested and you have cannabis in your system, chances are you'll be fired for intoxication, just like you were drunk or anything else. But now, if you have a medical card, you have a fight to say, because, and again, it stays in your system for so long, and they don't know necessarily when. Yeah, there's a reason why that's in my system. You know, if you get fired here in Michigan, you can, for cannabis consumption or cannabis being in your system, you can still collect unemployment as long as you have your medical card. Same thing with you get pulled over and it's in your system. You're an intoxicated driver. But if you have your medical card, now you have a license, you have a leg to fight with. You know what I mean? But without the
That's good.
card, you know, there's a lot of reasons why how cannabis can get you still in a lot of trouble. Avoid the trouble, get your medical card. If you have a reason why you can qualify, help build the numbers and protect yourself from a lot of things. You know,
Yeah, I actually got my medical card like I think I was like 22 or something. I waited a while. I could have gotten it when I was 18. A lot of my friends had it at 18 and even younger because they had like a medical need for it at 16, 15. So her parents were really chill about it. It's like, hey, like, need this? Okay, we're here for you. If I ever have, you know, custody of a kid, or like I have my own kid, hey, they need something, I'm for sure going to be helping them like that. That was so cool. But yeah, I never had it until after 21, and it was really nice to have it. Just knowing that I could drive around and have something on me and not have my heart pounding every time a cop, you know, went like was in the general vicinity. Uh yeah, for work, we don't have that in California. Once you Because most of the places here you sign away, like as soon to get hired, you kind of sign like, oh yeah, I won't piss hot. I don't, there's no reason I need this, but they won't hire you. It also depends on where you work. Like if a lot of there's the most recent jobs have been more corporate, like nursery corporate kind of stuff, where like I'm selling boxwoods and roses. They like clean cut, and
Well, that's just in
yeah.
the appearance there, you know,
No,
of
no, they it was no one asked after that. If you were clean, if you were passed and you kept to yourself, you're not that none of those jobs ever were like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a monthly or a quarterly, test just to make sure, but it wasn't that corporate. So it was nice on that end.
So I recently, this last year, as I traveled back to Genesee County, mid Michigan area, I had to go back to or find work when I got here. Right, everybody's got to work and make money. So fucking as I applied for jobs, I did this up north too, because of what I do. Uh, this and my cannabis history in the digital history these days, I was very open with fucking every employer about my use of cannabis. You know, I'm not gonna use it during your time, whatever. But yeah, if you were to drop me with a blood test right now or a piss test, you're certainly gonna find it in my system. And a lot of times, I was even forthright to where I like, hell, you can Google my ass and fucking find me talking about weed. Lots of shit about me on weed. You know what I mean? So that was the reason too. Nowadays they run your phone number and it's attached to a social media account or whatever. Boom, they've got you anyway. Why not? I was forthright from day one. Only at one job where I was like, I applied for maintenance at a high rise, and it happened to be like a seniors like thing, and they were like, yeah, we're pretty cool about it, really. You know, they could be a test, and if you get hurt, there will be a test. And what I suggest to you is study for your test. I was like, okay, I'm on board with you. If I get the call back, I'll study for the test. Which, go get some cleaner. Basically, is what she said. Go get something to clean your shit up. Yeah, I will. And we like, yeah, whatever. But it wasn't the right for me. I didn't want to. I'd already tried the maintenance thing one time, and I got thought about like doing a high rise. I was like, no. No.
Yeah, I'm out. Any scaffolding, I'm out. Outside, like especially high wind, like blowing off the side of a building. Like, oh,
Just the
don't know how they
people
do it.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just
good,
too
good on
much.
them. Good on them. I'm not saying it's like anything besides that I couldn't handle. Like they're better workers at that.
But I didn't, all in all, I applied for a lot of places, and none of the places I was my choice in the end. You know, if I want, and I look at that, by the way. You know, even though I need work, I'm thinking about the long run. That
Oh
interviews
yeah.
both ways. If I don't like the vibe of like who's nah, I'm out. I'm out. There's times where I've almost went stepbrother, where they you flip the interview around a little bit. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, no, I'm not. So there's a lot of times where I could have got the job. Cannabis wasn't a factor. I just didn't feel like it was a good fit for me, so I kept looking. But it wasn't really a big factor in the hiring process is what I'm trying to say here in Michigan anyway. Even and that goes for like I did apply for some corporate bullshit. I even thought like fuck man, I could do a cushy Home Depot job for a minute. I don't know what that pays, but it's fucking set hours and everybody I talked to at Home Depot was like, yeah, Home Depot's weed cool. So even on corporate levels, I think because of so many states pushing forward that we've seen it not being as big of a factor. Because at one point, yeah, that was you didn't want to divulge that shit at all. No, it was a don't ask, don't tell fucking thing right there. Fucking yeah, no. But I think today it's a different workplace when it comes to cannabis.
Yeah, I never like heard anything from them besides like basic HR, like, oh yeah, well, we know it's legal in the state, but for insurance reasons, we want to make sure that you clear. And it wasn't like more of a like, oh, that it was just that you're clear. There was no emphasis on it, but I was like, all right, yeah, I was clear. I got my synthetic, you know, stuff, the closed door. Once things were tested, boom, just put that there. And it's cool because you just got that how you get like the heating pods, so like chemical for that you put in your gloves and your mittens. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you just put that on that and it's clean. It's same thing.
Right on. It's
It's
been a
pretty
long.
pretty affordable, 20 bucks, 15, 20 bucks. Cents. So hey, just in case, just this might help people. Because I didn't know till I had a friend tell me. It's like, oh, and it works. Like, yeah, I didn't believe it, but then it's like, yeah, it's the same chemical composition exactly. And then it's like, well, there's nothing at it. Like, it's funny hearing other people being like, oh yeah, I was able to get somebody to, pee in a cup for me. It's like, oh well, nice that I don't have to be, doing that.
Yeah,
But hey, if you can find a job that's chill on the whole range, that's great. I had one where I worked at a hemp farm. That was awesome, and it was from someone that lived very close by, but his other property was down in like closer to San Diego than where I'm at. It was super chill. I just sat back, like he never expected more than just like, hey, you show up, on time, you do your job, and then like on break you just give us like, here, you can try this, like, and you can smoke your own too. Yeah. But he was letting us try the hemp and was like, oh, white, uh was it white, wedding cake. It was wedding cake.
nice.
What was this was in 2020. Yeah, when like everything was going down, so that was a fun year. That was a fun time to do that. So it was some nice freedom, and I was with another classmate from one of my horticulture classes. So that's how I met this guy. It was through that program. I was like, oh, sweet, yeah. Do not mind planting cannabis, whether it's hemp or whatever. It was for flower. So it was even better. I was like, oh, great. Like I can actually watch this progress. And it was cool because he was very like more living soil kind of guy, more like, hey, do it. Uh, we don't need more than just basic amendments. He was just, yeah, it was cool. It was a cool experience.
Oh, yeah. I've always fucking chose career paths that's let me smoke weed, to be honest with you. I could have, I'm a man of many talents. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or whatever, but I could have taken more technical path, or I could have taken a lot of careers. At one point, I thought about being a stockbroker. Then at one point, I studied to be a mechanical engineer, and but none of those seemed to fit what I wanted to do. So uh, as I got older, weed was more and more of a thing. So as I got to where I was working, yeah, weed was a full time thing. I wasn't giving up the weed. So from then on, yeah, I was, and I've always done well in life. You know, I've either went down a path that was somewhat all right, but I've always just tried to excel. You know what I mean? If I at 100%, can I smoke weed? Yeah, all right. I'll cut trees. I cut trees for a long time. Then fuck everybody smoked weed. You know, cook food for a long time. Everybody smoked weed. So I've always, wherever, whatever I've done, I've just tried to max out that field. You know what I mean? So I could be comfortable enough to live the way I wanted to live, flat out, or make that happen. I've always sold weed on the side, but worked as well. But I've always tried to, and that's what I'm saying. I come from that old school era where there were skilled trades. You know what I mean? If you either worked as an apprentice and then you got good enough and got old and then you took on an apprentice, but from A to B, you held them secrets close because that was the difference in paycheck from me to you. You know what I mean? They called me in because I'm skilled trades, motherfucker. You were just like, oh yeah, everybody, you want to do my job? Here's the sheet. You know what I mean? That wasn't necessarily a thing. You did your time, you went to school, you fucking paid your dues. So, like, even in cannabis, there was a time where when I started growing, you didn't fucking go pass your genetics around. It wasn't, yay, everybody, yeah, this is great. Here, give this to your grandma and everybody. No, you had the cut and you didn't pass that to nobody. You didn't want nobody to grow on what you were fucking growing. That didn't come until later, until legal cannabis came around and more people started growing. Did you start seeing more and more people spread the knowledge and the genetics and stuff like that? But beforehand, when people were selling that, and even when you were a caregiver here in Michigan, when the fucking deal broke, oh no, when you went to the dispensary, you didn't want to say fucking see that shelf full of what you had in your case. You know what I mean? You were fucking, you wanted something that was fire, that nobody else had, that you could, as soon as they went, oh, you got that? Yeah, I'll take that shit. Come on back here, dude. You know what I mean? So yeah, it wasn't. There's always been the spreading of knowledge and all that shit's kind of still new. You know what I mean? The last 10 years has it been, and I call that we've kind of adapted like a Chinese mindset when it comes to education, and I nod to the Chinese with their basically an open source teaching. You know what I mean? Everybody put their thoughts on it, and then we'll take that idea and build from it. You know what I mean? That's still new here, and I love it. You know what I mean? I love people that now that we're pushing forward. Everybody is now dumping their knowledge into it. I get a little testy with it. Cheers, test nugs, as I'm like testy, test, test. Uh, I get a little testy about the subject when they talk about like bro science and shit like that because that discredits or discourages people from talking about what they do or what they have discovered or what they've learned because yeah, I don't have 5 years in fucking white papers. I haven't documented all this shit. And so because you haven't done that, should you not go, well, you know what? My last two grows, I've noticed that. You know what I mean? Should you have to put your nose down, be discredited because there isn't a white paper involved or whatever? But today we are definitely living in an open source world where people can say that without being discredited and shit like that in general. Some areas still, yes, back it up, but that's a shame. Most of that
Well,
science
yeah.
came from just, and I even think at one point, as we like we've talked about bro science a lot over the years too, that yeah, a lot of that stuff that we've done in there in our gardens that we could consider somewhat of a bro science or a step forward, we've done from instinct, and it seemed so practical and it made so much sense. We kind of felt stupid to document it. You know what I mean? It was like, aha, this has worked so well. Somebody's had to have figured this out by now. You know what I mean? So I think at some point there's some of that involved too. That there's we don't feel necessarily the reasons to write it down because it just felt so right in the moment that it wasn't. It just felt right. It didn't feel like an aha moment. It just felt right. So I don't know.
It's almost like cooking, and like I come from a family that didn't write down shit. Nothing's ever written down, so I've been taking it upon myself to write stuff down so that when people ask me, or like if the next generation, my nephews and nieces, one of them eventually wants to cook and cook a certain thing, yeah, here you go. Here's all the rest if you want it too, but there's that as well. And I just wanted to add, like, yeah, I agree. It sucks that even though if you have experience, that experience can't be uh, proven without the documentation. But the cool thing is now, if you really want to go about it, go ahead.
Yeah, he's all right.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just a dream. It's just a dream. He's
Okay.
actually he's all right.
But yeah, to anyone, if you actually like found something uh, that that would help out, start documenting it. If you feel comfortable legally enough about it, start documenting it. And then there's also ways you can document very privately and uh, be private about it. Just say it that way. Uh, yeah, yeah. This way you can actually prove what you're saying. And then don't forget to add a signature with a date at the bottom. If you're really going to be authentic about it, at least do that. Say actually take measurements and treat it seriously as you can. Get Take as much measurements with as many utensils that you have access, or measuring utensils as you have. It's We could still make a difference. Like it for the people that I hear making that uh, argument, which is a fair argument, definitely start documenting if you feel comfortable. Like if you really found something, uh, I need to get better at documenting. Like, oh, watered at this time, this date. I amended at this date. Uh, this is exactly when I switched, and I took when I switched into like the most accurate thing is just okay, veg flour. And even veg, I don't even like, all I do is I visually know when the plant is ready, right? We know when our our girls are ready to move on to flower, to mature. So I never really documented anything like that because I was like, oh well, it's whatever. But if I really want to do my due diligence with breeding, I need to start doing that. So yeah, yeah, it helps. This way you can prove what you got. Like, no, this is my that I did this cross at this time and date. I also traded uh this is when I bought the seeds for this, or when I got the cuts for this. But yeah, it's each their own. You don't have to document anything. But if I just wanted to add to that, like if we want to, back up our statements, that does help. You can still add to like scientifically, and even citizen science, like science. I'm a big proponent of that. Like, and that's what you have to do. You have to write. You have to have a little lab book. When I was uh when I was doing my biotech stuff, like you legally had to write down what you did in the day. Okay, signed in. You clocked in this this time, and then this is what I did from this time to this. Write down all your measurements. You don't have to go that far.
I've got a few. Uh, why do I worry ass in chat? What are you growing? So this is, if you could read this, this is Eagles
There you
Day
go.
Records Volume 2 or Book 2. So I used to fucking keep, all my notes and a lot of notes, but I think my last entry in this book is, right here, Ghost OG, and that was, 10 seeds popped. Or that was Smiley's gear, the Ghost OG times the Sky Color, F3s from Smiley. Dropped 10 seeds, and that was 1123. So that was my last entry. I've dropped a lot of seeds, but I haven't kept any records of late. And I used to like to fucking keep these just to know what the fuck I've grown over the years. It's like even in the interview the other day, when I was being with the Aussie Ganja Project there, Adam, uh, he asked me, exactly what I've grown from subs there. I'm like, right off the top of my head, man, that shit, you freeze up, man. It's hard to remember right off the top of your head a lot of shit you've grown. There's a lot of shit I'm sure you've grown that you've forgotten over the years. You know what I mean? It slips through the cracks. There's a lot of times I've looked through these books and I go, oh yeah, I do remember that one and shit. So yeah, but as far as keeping like super detailed records on like feedings and stuff like that, no,
I
no,
need to
it's
do better. I need, but exactly. I'm a little looser on that. I need to try different ways. Uh, I've had a whiteboard. I've had it like the only thing I haven't done is had
boards are nice.
a physical journal where I'm like day 49 of flower.
That would
I
like
used, yeah,
that book would be too big. So that's where the whiteboard's nice to have. Well, once you've
yeah, but
established the genetics and you're just kind of wanting to know what's where, you know what I mean? Because
mhm.
it doesn't take like a run or two before you don't need to write that shit down anymore. Two runs on a string, you know how long it's gonna flower. You know a lot of the ins and outs of it already. So I don't think at that point you need that book. You know what I mean? That's more for reference of, like I said, nostalgic purposes you know what I mean? But there is, and I'm not knocking keeping good records because there's a lot of knowledge from
Each
trouble
their own.
spots. You hit a
Yeah,
trouble spots and it's like, what did I do? It's nice to look back for that. But I'm so locked into my methods that a lot of it's rinse, lather, and repeat, to be honest with you. So once I work past the point of the notebook, it's a whiteboard and what's where, and the whiteboards are nice to know what's in the cloner, what's in the when you're running multiple tents, like you've already talked about, two tents, you
what
know, what's
this is
where.
why I mention it, because I'm expanding. I'm like, oh, I need to have this timed out better because I'm
When I
sitting
was,
on harvests,
I
that
had
I could have done.
up north, I had moy boards were my friend. I had to have one that overall of how many strains were going, what was in the garden over general. But then I'd keep little, if you look back at them tents, there's little whiteboards up in the corner. And that's what was in the tent. Every time I'd take something in or out, I would write it on that whiteboard. I always knew what was in that tent because of that reason. Uh, yeah, I used to love the whiteboards for, it's a good way to keep track of what's where, especially in tents, because you can make shit up sometimes. Tags are great, but
I've been pretty good about the tags. Uh, if other people don't already use this, get painter's tape
mm,
as and use that to write on because it can get wet and it'll be fine.
yeah,
Like it lasts a while. That's my favorite one with the solo cups kind of deal. I bought, I think like 8 years ago, I bought a a big freaking thing of solo cups, and I've only needed it to like replace it once, and it's nice. It's nice to have around. Although I would like to maybe invest at another time in some nursery, like what was it? It was Bootstrap Farmer. Yeah, they got a bunch of like farming like equipment of like for and you can buy in bulk for like nursery supplies. So definitely check that out. That's the one I want to look into. It's a little fancier, but yeah, it's I just want something sturdy trays that can I don't like those flimsy like black uh
with you.
there's a specific name for them, but
Little
in the
trays.
nursery, but yeah, it's like 50. But yeah, we all know the basic ones. I don't like those films. These are supposed to be very rigid and like much like they can take a beating that you're gonna see at a nursery. It's cool. That's I would like to invest in that, but it's kind of nice. Just I always tell people just like fine. It's it's much more simple. Even when I was like helping people out, like selling, I would have to sell roses and everything too. They're like, and from roses to like the edible side were like cilantro and all that. And they'd be like, oh, well, how, and selling seeds too. They're like, oh, how do I start? I was like, honestly, you just take some potting mix and then put it in a cup, a solo cup, and you can just cut some holes on the side to the ones that were like, oh, I want to do this, but this looks expensive. I would never. I was like a good a good person over a good salesman any day. Uh, when people came in, I just helped them, and if what they needed help with, there was something I could show them from there. Yeah, totally gonna help them out.
So you
Most
could
of the
say
time,
an ethical salesman.
I hate selling anything. Like I hate being in retail. Uh,
I
that's
agree.
why I settled for the nursery side because people come in wanting to buy something, like wanting to buy plants or wanting to buy something for their plants. It was easy. I didn't need to do like I had a boss try to be like, oh yeah, here, like try this pitch, and I'm like, you know what? I just worked with him. And then when he was gone, I just had my regular customers because all I ever said was, "How can I help you today?"
Have
Not
you
not a fucking pitch. How can I help you today? That's it. And they would tell me, "Okay, this is what's going on. Okay, I'll help you. If I can help you, that's it." I hated having any pressure.
has there been
Yeah.
anything that you've since you've worked in the nursery type industry there, that you've had that aha moment and tried to bring back into your cannabis grow?
Sorry, could you repeat that? Sorry.
Uh, is there anything in the, since you've worked in the nursery type field there, I'm assuming plants, since you've mentioned roses a few times there. Is there anything in that field that that you've had that aha moment that you've thought, hey, this might transfer into, I might be able to transfer into this into my cannabis grow? Is there been anything like that? Maybe even nutrients or something like that. That
Honestly, I got hired because like of my passion for plants that came from cannabis. So
yeah,
there's nothing I really learned. It was the opposite.
okay.
I was probably valued because of my like me wanting to be like
Your
going
eagerness to learn.
like actually going for horticulture, going to plant like going to school for that as a degree, going to getting a degree in plant science. Uh, it's it's nice to have that, but I know where it started like really blooming. It for sure got seeded from my family. Like I'm a fourth generation gardener, so it started because they were like, "Hey, I grew up eating fresh fruit from their gardens. You know, mostly citrus, just because it's super easy to grow down. Citrus grows like weed. Uh, yeah, but it's funny because it is the opposite. Uh, I'm probably valued because of my influence from that, but I've never said like, oh yeah, my favorite plant is cannabis on my resume
Right
or
on.
that. Yeah, I keep to myself on the work side. Just I've always found it easy to just fly. I'm easier to fly under radar.
Well,
But
for
yeah,
me, yeah, I had a aha moment at one point. I don't work. Actually, the last few years, as I get older, I'm more open. And I tried, when I came back into town, carpentry was like one of the last, even though that's like where I make the most money at, hands down. Um, I was open to take less money to learn and do less um, less fucking strenuous things. You know what I mean? There was that I was willing to make a little bit of a trade there. So it's one point in the spring there, the last two springs, I have kind of looked into like greenhouse jobs and shit like that. But at one point, I got caught into a conversation before way of that because I just love good conversations, and sometimes I hear shit and I'll wander in, and this was one of those conversations. Uh, I was up in West Branch, Michigan, in Home Depot, and I got come across a couple old ladies there talking about hickey plants, and it intrigued me, and I kind of jumped in. It's like one of those things that was like, this is super interesting. You don't mind if I kind of just listen a little bit, do you? You know what I mean? And they were like, no, no, no. And then, so
like
I
I hope
sat
I'm
there
not
and
rude, but this is
yeah,
cool. Yeah,
yeah, this,
you
yeah.
guys are
They,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, but they didn't mind. I had some questions here, but they were talking about the cultivation of hickey plants and talking about what made the different colors of hickeybis plants. And what makes the different colors in hickeybis plants is the different stages of pH during flower. So if you wanted a blue flower, the pH had to be a certain level. If you wanted a red flower, it had to be a certain pH. And I had huh, can we do this with cannabis? when we've taken our flower to a certain point, can we now like spike the pH to a 9 and make it, you know what I mean, fluorescent green? Or can we make it a dark, dark? You know what I mean? Can we play with our flowers like that with pH a little bit? And I haven't ventured down that rabbit hole, but I'm willing to bet there's something there. You know what I mean? Because we're not necessarily at that point, the flower should be no longer uptaking as much nutrients, right? So we're just kind of lockout shouldn't be necessarily uh, a huge thing. So we're just trying to weigh hue. And I've heard people talk about color, you know, or excuse me, temperature, cold, dumping the ice and shit around it. You bring out purples, but can we do the same exact thing with, you know what I mean, a week's worth of high pH or low pH? Can we sway the flower color or ambiance or terps that way? You know what I mean? So that's what I'm kind of getting at. Is there some practices in like roses or shit like that that you've kind of went, I want to take that home and fuck with that a little bit.
No, I mean, most of it was like the if there is one thing that stuck out, I was surprised about. I already knew about like training, like main mainlining like plants, like but it taking so much longer. But yeah, once I looked on the like garden side, it's it's a French term, but it's hospelier. Yeah, that's when you can train when you train trees, like fruit bearing trees. Pretty sure. Well, my main focus and interest was for fruit bearing trees like apples, and apples are the best for that because they don't stress out. Yeah, it's cool, man. You can have them around like fences, just like how you would for like a great like a vineyard. You know, you can grow trees vertically. So that's where I was like, oh, that's cool. Like it 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 should have dawned on me before. It's like, oh yeah, we didn't get that out of nothing. Uh, so I was impressed with that. Just like how integrated that was. And once I learned about that, I I went like down a rabbit hole of like, oh, when was like how far, like how long have we been doing this? It's like as long as we've had like been doing tree agriculture. Like I think it's pomology is the study of fruit trees. So yeah, that's a I'm a big edible like fan of edible plants.
Right on. It's a lot
Yeah,
of,
that
it's crazy how many fruits that, and stuff like that, bananas and such, that wouldn't, and well, lemon, I believe, is another one. That wouldn't exist in nature unless we would have manipulated it, the plants. Corn's another one, you know. There's a lot of things that wouldn't be what it is unless human manipulation wouldn't have been a thing. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's uh, it's interesting you brought up citrus because it you look at the genetics of it, and most of the stuff is because we mixed only a couple things together. And I see the correlation with like, oh hey, this with our plant, you know, it's really cool to just see like, oh, it all just comes from a couple basic things, and those all those things came from somewhere, and then all of it mixed together. We're not done mixing them all together. We just basically started. Nice, Jeff. Yeah, I'm sure you have. You've got a fucking sick bro. Yeah,
So
we need to get him him on for sure, Jeff.
Jeff's been on. He needs
Oh,
to
he has
check
good,
in.
good.
Yeah,
That's what I
he's
thought.
added
Yeah,
it.
that's what I thought. I was like, wait,
That's what
I'm pretty
I
sure. Yeah,
don't understand either. You know, there's a lot of
yeah.
people that have the ticket to get in, but a lot of people are still kind of leery, I guess. But yeah, actually, Jeff would sent me a bunch of pictures
I
yesterday
like seeing his
of his.
pictures. Yeah,
Yeah, he's got a nice garden, no doubts about that. No doubt about that. He's definitely an amazing grower. But a lot of people are, a lot of great growers in chat. 100%.
I'm as modest as I can be about growing, because everyone's got a horror story, like something happened. So I just try to
Oh,
be as supportive to everyone as possible. If however you're doing, great. Oh, you need some help? Yeah. If you have questions, let me know.
so
And
well,
that's all
there's
you can
a
do.
question in chat there. Well, I wanna hit it first because I think I've got way more tent experience when it comes to tents. I've ran lots of tents and multiple tents at one point. And fuck it, at one point I had 9 tents going, 4x8s going at one point. So I love the tents. There's plus and minuses um, to both. I like to being able to maximize your space. Not everybody
Like
has
here's
the opportunity to run a multiple phase grow. So tents allow that in smaller spaces where you can have a veg and a couple of flowering stages, in a single room. So that's nice. There's tons and tons of pluses. You get something go a little bit wonky in your room. Hopefully it gets contained in the tent A. Yeah, you know what I mean? You get a chance to like lock shit down and especially if you have a male. If you're running multiple tents, hopefully that pollen gets locked down in 10A. You know what I mean? Everything isn't a loss. Uh, there is some pluses to having an open room. Just you know what I mean. There's less cleaning to do. I like to wipe down every tent after every flowering cycle. At one unless and again, sometimes that's not always possible either. You can run. At one point, I'm very known for what I like call a whack-a-mole system. That one in, one out, one in, one out, one in, one out. So
that's what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
yeah, so like we're talking about perpetual there, if you're limited on numbers, you can still have a nice perpetual and a four by
Mhm.
four. Just starting out one, waiting a few weeks or to a month, throwing another one into flower and having multiple phases of flower. That sucks because it's harder to pull that tent apart and clean. You know what I mean? So a single room and running, full cycles, you know what I mean, as we're talking about, where you're only getting 2 grows a year, 2, 3 grows a year. And
Yeah,
then you
with
can
one
tear the
tent.
whole
Yeah.
room apart and fucking clean it from top to bottom. But again, cleanliness in the tents, other than the whack-a-mole system, yeah, there's a ton, tons and tons and tons. Again, another one is a plus to multiple tents is sometimes you're not always able to run so much power that you could, like say, to run, like I say, a whole 20 by 20 room. You
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Lights can't do that. So the answer to that is to have 2 tents. And as soon as tent A goes off for 12 hours, tent B kicks on for 12 hours. So you're always pulling the same amount of watts, but that's it. You get the same amount of flour. You're just not killing your fuse box. So there's another reason for a tent. You know what I mean? Tents, in my opinion, they're cheap enough nowadays to where even if you didn't want to clean it, you could fucking tear it down and buy another one for $100 or whatever and
Yeah.
start
Better
all.
quality too
Yeah.
nowadays. I like my last tent I've gotten like, I've had one Mars Hydro. That was my first one. I'm pretty sure it was no, it was Apollo. Sorry, it was an Apollo, and then that like it was. But by the time I tore that down because I had to, it, it was an emergency at the time. I had to tear everything down. By the time that happened, I think that was 6, 7 years in or something. Yeah, it was seeing its. I saw like little rust spots in the corner because I couldn't just take out uh, good on whoever can do this, but I can't lift up 65 gallon of uh potting mix that has like lava rock in it.
Can I give you a
Like
tip?
if you can, for sure.
I got one for you.
Hmm.
This is another tent fucking eight. I give this from my heart to you. Right here. It's a long-term tent grower. It took me a long time to figure this one out, but once I got this one, I think I told you about the electric pump. That's not what I'm telling you though. When you're watering, a transfer pump, a gasoline transfer pump, you can pick one up at Walmart anywhere, battery operated, $10. 5 gallon bucket, you put that in, you can count your pots out. There ain't no trying to get your pot or water back there. That's one gem right there. But gem two, because you can't always get them pots out, is the old person grab fucking thing. That little where you grab, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like 3 foot long.
that's a good one.
Man, put a wad of toilet or not toilet paper, but paper towel on that thing, and when you can't water gets out of control and you can't get behind that plant, a lot of times with that little grabber you can get back into spots in that tent to clean some shit up to where you can't get that pot out, but you can reach back in there with your little hook thing. It's a paper towel, or spray your paper towel and get back in there. You know what I mean? Like things are flowering, but yeah, that little grabber thing is man, and they make some quality ones, man, these days to where like you can actually pick up some shit. But man, if you're a tent grower, oh man, them things, that's an invaluable thing to have close to your tent for quick messes and cleanups.
Yeah, I wish I would have had. Speaking of like little tips, I'm sure every good grower knows this. Hopefully they do. But shop vac frickin' save you. One thing I wish I would have done was set up like uh it sounds overkill, but I've seen someone else do it and it just makes sense. But pond liner on the bottom,
Mm.
set up pond liner, so at least the doesn't matter the quality of mylar you got, it's gonna bleed out if you have a spill of whatever, you know.
See,
Uh,
for me, rather than that, because they always come with that, is the importance of the trays. The what do you
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
casters? I've got a stack of them in there. Every one of my plants stick up off the ground on the wheels, so I can A, spin it to work on the plants, and B, now I've created an air gap right there. So if something water does get there, it doesn't sit
Mhm.
there, squish and mold up and transfer deeper into that. I can push the plant aside and get under there with my little. Yeah, yeah. So them are a must. There's twofold for that too. Uh, A, when times are cold, you don't transfer that cold up into your pots and slow things down. But B, sometimes you want during the summertime, so that can be a plus during the hotter months. You can, when, like, say you're on a concrete or in the basement, you can set them plants down on the concrete and utilize that cold. But I plan on casters. It's a better way, 100%.
It's funny you mentioned that. I'll mention two things on that. Uh, I've been talking to a new Canna friend. His name's Bark Dog, and he has casters for every plant. Same
Hmm.
thing, and underneath that he has a drain pan, and then connected to that drain pan is an oil, is where you would collect oil. like an oil collection, and then from there, boom, he could just empty it out. So yeah, I'll definitely talk to him. Like, hey, you should go talk to my friend Eagle. But yeah, that's a good one.
At one point, I was so anal about the cleanliness of my grow to where I had the bottoms. I'd swap out the bottoms like every couple of weeks because I didn't like the salt buildup or the dirt buildup in the bottom of the saucers. So I'd pick them up and put a fresh saucer under them every few weeks. I had one, 2 for 1 every pot, which was costly. Fucking the saucers can be just as much as the damn pots, especially
That
when you
bot
start get into like fucking 10 gallons and you're getting into like a 20-inch saucer and shit. Them fuckers can be quite pricey, but yeah, that was a bad habit of mine. And cleanliness has always been right up there. So like when people started getting into like the fabric pots, I'm still not a huge fan of the fabric pots. They have their pluses and all that, but man, for multiple grows and they start getting white and shit, man, I'm like, oh yeah, I like to wash my pots in between every time, still to this day. And again, I've tried to be a little less uh freaked out about all that because now that I've kind of pushed into more organics and living soil, and I realize there's, it's not all bad in
minerals.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I mean? To every time in between grows, I was a pump and dump dude. I'm still, I understand. I get all the above, but there is something to be said for the pump and dump to where like every time the soil's good, there ain't no worries, no worries. You're worried about transferred from the last time, less chance of trying to fucking diagnose deficiencies for so ever. You know what I mean? Even in cocoa, the rule of thumb was chop that bitch down, take that root ball to the low spot in the fucking yard, dump that bitch out, stomp it down, and fucking take that pot in and fucking wash it and refill it. You know what I mean? There was no trying to reuse or whatever, all that shit. It was clean, 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 start over, clean, 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 start over, clean, 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 start over. There was no reuse. It's again, that's evolution for me. You know what I mean? In the organics and yeah, some of that stuff wasn't so bad. There was one point where I even got to where I was running the fabric pots. And at 72 plants, I had 35 for those fucking fabric pot, 10 gallons, and 35 fucking 10-gallon nursery pots going. And I would wash those fucking, the fabric pots. I bought a $50 washer because I wouldn't rerun them. You know what I mean? I'd take them up, hook them up to the washer, hook the hose up to the washer outside, give them a quick run, some rin outside, and not give a shit that that thing's full of dirt and fucked up. You know what I mean? For my fabric pots, but they had to be washed. That shit on it freaked me out. It wasn't until like later, I'm like, yeah, that's microbes and probably not so bad. But still to this day, cleanliness wins in the garden. It's a better way. It's just a better way, Even when I started going to organics and started doing the cover crops and shit, to me, that started freaking me out. Even though like some of them bugs were good. You know what I mean? They were unwanted pathogens and shit like that. That's beyond the cleanliness barrier right there. Had to go.
it's interesting you brought up cover crops and like and bugs in general. One thing I will warn to people is if you have thrips or have had thrips and you're growing organically, try not to grow a cover crop that has like nitrogen. That's nitrogen fixing
Oh yeah,
because
it's
they're
like
gonna love that. The clovers, any legume, yeah, definitely avoid that. I've was scratching my head for the longest time, and I think I think it
Some
was like
say would that would be a
somebody
painter.
mentioned having that.
At
And
least they're
then
gonna go to that. No, that's drawing them.
no, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I was like, okay, this makes a lot more sense. And then I got a lot more intense with my IPM, and for the most part they're gone. But I've noticed when I was slipping on IPM, boom, they're back. It's like, all right, you gotta have your regiment. You gotta double down on this. So definitely gonna look more into what's it called?
That's
Beneficial
funny.
nematodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some nematodes that are meant like specifically for that and that are like broad range predators. So that's another thing I want to add on.
But
I've
that's
just
more
been,
and more and
yeah,
more and more and more, and yeah, you know what I mean? It's more and
yeah.
more, more and more and more. I just to me that's yeah, I'm down. Even if you look back at like when Smiley's got me going doing the challenge back then, the earth
Mm.
boxes against the cocoa. Once I introduced the cover crop and seeing all that problem right there, if you go back and look, I killed that cover crop made one round and that was the end of cover crop in my garden. I was like, yeah,
And that's fine.
done with that shit. So
I think it should be said. Yeah, I actually was using spin. I have that in my rotation. But yeah, definitely it should be warned as like, hey, you don't need to have it all the time. It's a positive thing to have plants. The more roots in the soil, the more root exudation you're going to have, the more positive it's going to be for plant uptake, just in general. But if it's causing an issue, horticulturally, get rid of that issue. It 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 sucks that like we have to be more sterile, but we are growing inside. Once like we have to make sure we're a little more clean. For me, it's just hey, some soap and water at least once a day, like once a week. Cut clean down the walls and stuff. And then I I've been lucky enough. I'm glad you mentioned earth boxes because I was going to say that's my in between for uh organic. Like I stopped growing in the big old 65s and I was like, I need something that if I have to leave, like I was if uh I have to move somewhere, I could just pick up and fucking start like right away. I need something like that. Earth box. I couldn't do city pickers with my tent like size. If I had a 4x4, perfect. I think city pickers are awesome. Spartan is dead on correct there. But with 3x3s, it happened to work a little better. I can fit two earth boxes in that. So that's why one in, one out is good. Uh, I've been appreciating that. So yeah, I definitely advise the earth boxes because it's exactly what you were saying. It's on casters. You're getting airflow. You can clean things, you can move things out, you can move them back, you can turn them around. It's its own basic lazy Susan.
mhm.
So that's perfect. It's that's where when people ask me, so I just like this is it's the perfect starter. One thing I would like to try though, if I had extra cash burning in my wallet, uh yeah, it would be the auto pot, the auto tray system. Are you familiar with that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So it's basically a tray to grow. That that's the system, but it's a tray that it automatically fills up from a float valve. So it's there. They make their own float valve, but it's a float valve. You could do this on your own. Put a little float
Sounds
valve
great.
on a tray. Yeah, and like literally, it's super simple to make. Or you could just buy it. If you're handy and you know what to do, and it's a fun little project on the weekend, you could totally do this, especially you eagle and like your sleep. in like 5 minutes, probably sleepwalking.
Mm.
Probably is what you're gonna do. You know, I'm subconscious. I'm planning it, and you're subconscious. But yeah, it's really cool. You can put whatever size pots in there. You could put 3 15 gallons. It just depends on the size of the tray at that point. If you're gonna DIY it, that's what I would recommend. Hey, like look into some trays that where you can fit a float valve. You can even buy their float valve and put it on a tray because it's pretty shallow. Yeah, it's like a square one. It looks pretty interesting. I've had a friend that works in like selling. Uh, uh, he basically works in a shop, a grow shop. And he was like, "Yeah, I sold that, but I guess it was a different model from the past." And he was like, "Yeah, I don't like that. I had a lot of people return that, but I've heard good things from the new stuff now." So yeah, it's good to know some people who have experience. So uh, I haven't heard anything bad from the new stuff. Definitely look into DIYing it for the people that you don't have to pay $60. I think it probably costs you $20 in materials to make this, and then you just attach it to, a water source, or you could literally have it be on a res on a 25-gallon like tote, fill it up with water, and they have it be gravity fed. That's cool too. That's how I used to have my irrigation set up on a blue mat, but it was with a 5-gallon bucket because I got kind of freaked out. I was like, I don't want to have 25-gallon spill in my tent. I'm good. I just, I could deal with 5. It's okay. And then because it was 65 gallons, it was like that all got sucked into the the media, basically.
At one point, I think what you're kind of referencing or close to is the flood and drain tables. You
That's
can get
basically what it is. Yeah. That's why
uh,
I like it so much. I was like, oh my gosh, it's the perfect combo.
so even when you were talking earlier there about the rubber membrane in the tent there, I think it's almost more economical to look into a 4x4 flood and drain table with and not drill out the hole or whatever. Then you can clean, you know what I mean? It's a
Mhm.
hard service, so you could pick it up and once a year or twice a year take it outside and hose it out and really give it an antibacterial wash versus, putting down a rubber membrane. But at one point, I really considered putting it off, even though I wasn't doing flood and drain. I just liked that because that was like back before the casters, and I kind of just liked it, the idea of the air gap, picking it up off the ground and whatnot. And then it was a secondary in case my fucking saucers ever overfilled, I wasn't fucking up the tent. Uh, I've never been a huge fan of like spraying shit. Uh, that's still IPM has to be done, but I don't like to like I'm not foliar feeding indoors in my
Oh,
tents.
I don't
I
foliar
know
feed.
shit like that. I general IPM stuff like that. Yeah, and that's even bad.
And that's in veg.
Yeah.
I've only sprayed once, and that was like within the first couple of days of week 1 in flower. And then I was like, I'm done. I'm done. Because I was just spraying it as much as I could before that too. And I was like, just in case. Like it was like with the thrips. And I was like, I'm not chancing it. Like you're getting something. So the spin I definitely got some spinosad in there. But no buds were forming at that time. It was literally on the branching system and the leaves. Yeah, yeah, I had no problem with that. I got a issue like once there's hairs and stuff coming. I'm like, I understand there's like premature, then and it's like before flower, especially with cuts or like even with seeds if you're growing them long enough. But yeah, it's that's where I draw the line. It's like if maybe if I'm having an issue. Before I would be like, no, just in veg. Then I was like, okay, if the plant's not even showing, but until week two, the first couple days in the flower, I can see the discussion there. All right, but I've heard people like, oh yeah, day 21. Hmm, I'm not smoking that. You do whatever you want. I smoke my own stuff. I can only speak for my own stuff. I've never gotten sick from my own garden. Quite the opposite. Uh, Every time I've had some since I've been growing, I've only had a corpo corpo weed a couple times, any extracts. And when I had it from like other people, like just like even family members, and I was like, I'm good. It gave me a headache. I didn't say anything, just because it was family. I was like, oh yeah, I only can. I only have so many people in my life that I share cannabis with. I was just like, yeah, yeah, thank you. But then I was like, never. Every time I was offered something by someone, I've always been like, no, I got my own. You're welcome to have some of mine. I'll pack you a bowl. You know, the opposite. I just like try to be nice about it. It's like, no, no, but you're welcome. Here, if you got something to roll, I'll roll with. I'll roll it. And yeah, that's. I don't even want to make it sound. I didn't want to be like snobby about it, but literally, I would. I. It's kind of like when you get food poisoning from a place. Like, no, I'm good. Or even just like hearing the name of that like dish where you got sick. I was like, no, you enjoy that. I'm out. There's a couple things. There's a couple times where that's happened with food for me, but definitely that's how I've noticed how I am with like people sharing cannabis with me now. Now, if it was like, hey, I know you're you grew it, and I know you grow clean stuff. Yeah, totally. Hand me a J, for sure. Pack me a bowl. Yeah, I gratefully accept it. It's when it's coming from like they don't know the grower. They just bought it, and that's how I used to be too before growing. I can't knock it. I can't tell them. All I can do is say like, oh, you're welcome to. You need clean stuff. Let me know. But they get that stuff for free. So that's a whole different. Yeah, yeah. I'd be like, oh, I got to keep my lights on. I'll give you Christmas presents for sure. You know, birthday presents. Yeah,
I like to give weed out for holidays and stuff like
yeah.
that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah,
Always brings a smile. It always does.
yeah. I should
But
do edibles because it stretches out, and I feel like they would be more appreciative of that.
I've done. Oh, I did that too. And we're getting ready to go. Uh, but before
Sure.
we go, I did. I went. I took some heavy medicated chocolate chip cookies to a Fourth of July party one time. And before I knew it, it was the quietest 4th of July we had ever had. Everybody was fucked up in no time flat. I mean, literally, I went back for a second cookie and it was like a platter. It was literally a platter.
Stacked platter. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it was gone. I knew, I was like, whoa. So
Yeah.
yeah, holiday fun. Yeah, just warn everybody or just give them
Oh
as
no, no. I would.
gifts.
It would be an individual like, hey, enjoy your brownie. You know, to the only certain people uh, that that I know for sure do it. But yeah, I've had it's a story for another time, but definitely have some funny edible story with family.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear them. But
Yeah,
yeah, we're
good.
hitting the what almost 3.5 hour mark now, but I gotta wind up some loose ends and watch. I'm no secret. One show, and it's getting to be where it's the corniest fucking show. It used to be all right, but it's corny. It's corny. The Curse of Oak Island. That's the only show I've watched for like years to like where I'm like, and that's sad because stop. Back for a while there, like the '90s, maybe early 2000s. I hate to like really like date myself, and I think we've lost this in general. Like when we talk about, God damn it, I just bought probably another 5 minutes. If when we talk about like what's missing with cannabis these days, I think this is part of it. Is like we used to have that day of the week where we were like, for me, super long time ago, fucking like Simpsons, Chappelle Show. You know what I mean? There were shows to where like you knew where you were that fucking day of the week. And 9 times out of 10, at least me, I had to have my fucking weed. I had already did what I had to do. My sack, I was sitting in front of the fucking TV with a fucking fresh bag, licking that joint, waiting for the shit to start. And 9 times out of 10, you were with a bunch of, all your friends and shit. And it was a great time. You know what I mean? So there was the go get the bag, get the friends together, the anxiety, there was so much to look forward to. You know what I mean? And nowadays, today, we don't have the TV shows like that where you know what I mean? Everybody's watching the same thing. We're talking about, you know what I mean? There's the next day. Did you watch that? Did you see that? There's not a lot of that. So I think it's little things like that had contributed to the high that we remember when we were younger. You know what I mean? It's just the evolution of society. Things move so much faster these days, and not everybody's on the same page. So I think it's one of them things that when we look back and go, well, that was one of the things about cannabis. I think that's one of the factors there, the gatherings and shit like that made cannabis great back then. Anyways, but with that being said, that's Oak Island is still the tradition, the one show, Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock. Even though tonight I recorded it so I could hang out with you guys, but that episode's getting watched before I go to fucking bed. And maybe, if I got time, I'll get it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it was really fun to hang out with you as always, Eagle. Hope everyone has a good one.
Well. Have a good night, man. For the rest of you guys, I appreciate your guys' time as well. I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I have. With that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this going out multi-by stream now. It didn't go out on Facebook. It went out on Twitch tonight. I'm still trying to feel who's watching where. So with that being said, thank you for your cooperation, your patience over the years. Do something nice for somebody. Random acts of kindness do save lives. We are out of here.